Okay, so now that's dealt with. Sorry, I was really tired of not having ability spheres. So I went and got some ability spheres really quick. Which I suppose means I need to update the thing. I forgot to do that. Hang on. I was just looking at it. There. Okay. Make that nice and updated. What I'm saying, Crazy Norse, is you should buy whatever the heck it is they're trying to get you to buy. It's very important, whatever it is. It's super purchasable. You should buy it. Anyway, so now that I don't have an ability sphere deficit, although actually I think I'm still missing a few. I've got 2 for Wakka. I need levels for Wakka now. It's okay, guys. We're gonna go defeat Sin. Here's a question for you. Do you think it would have been possible to defeat Sin at this point in the game? Story-wise, obviously not gameplay-wise. Although, I mean, a game like Chrono Trigger would let you defeat Sin here. I'm just saying. I'm nowhere, Myron. You're way ahead of me in level. Chicken sushi? That sounds strange. Croissants? That sounds amazing. Hey, Wakka, that's solid metal. Don't kick that. Dude, that's like steel. You are wearing sandals.
He really hates them, huh?
Chapu. He left the sword Wakka gave him in Besaid. And he fought with an Al Bhed Machina weapon instead.
That's got nothing to do with it. I just hate these sacrilegious contraptions.
So yeah, that's the end of his foot. You kick that hard enough, yeah, you could shatter bone. Moron. Love you, Wakka. You're a moron. I will be the one to finish Sin off. I admit it's interesting to see different people's perspectives on this, because it really boils down to how strong you think... Yeah, no kidding. Pillars of Storm. I wasn't playing 5. I was playing 10 yesterday. What are you talking about, Nova Knight? It really depends on exactly how strong you actually perceive Sin to be, and how perpetual you perceive him to be. Because even his perpetual nature is dependent on the nature of the summoning, and the cyclical summoning. So, I don't know. I admit I don't buy that Sin is that powerful. Gravity hijinks aside. It's like Colin Palusa, who is a byproduct of the church, obviously. And thank you for the bits, Colin Palusa. Do you know where you want to put those ones? Basically, Machina is defined as, like, effectively anything that is a machine that isn't approved. It's really, really... It is a deliberately in-universe bad definition, if you know what I mean. Star Ocean 1 or 2? Yeah, anything that's not useful to the church is considered forbidden for one reason or the other. Even though there's no explanation given whatsoever, it's just, it's against the teachings. 1. You got it. Yeah, yeah, exactly. The entirety... They use frickin'... I don't have it here anymore. They basically use webcams. They use camcorders. They use water camcorders to record and broadcast video, live video and audio across a large area. Think about that for a second. That's approved, Machina. No, Colin Peluso, I've never played Star Ocean before, and I actually have no brain, and am in fact nothing more than a vessel. An empty vessel of eternal suffering. Any questions? Oh, I know, Pillars. They literally use mechs and guns, for God's sakes.
It won't work anyway.
Alright, hang on. Wakka says several things that aggravate me. That's probably the one that pisses me off the most. Because of Battle Programmer. If it wasn't for Battle Programmer, Wakka would be the best character in Final Fantasy. How could you do it to me? How could you do it, Battle Programmer? I trusted you. I put your sub to Tales of Arise and everything, but no. I've seen too many times in real life people use that attitude. Well, I don't agree with you, or I don't like you, so I want you to fail, even though it's a really horrible thing if you fail. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen so many times people use it, even in cases where it will actually harm them. The person saying it won't work anyways will be injured by the fact that it doesn't work. Hate that attitude in real life. I see it all the time. Now I know what you're saying. Lord, doesn't that mean you hate Wakka? No. As much as I hate to admit it, Wakka, I've said it before, Wakka has a character arc. He grows out of this crap. You know, I'm going to go ahead and give him some credits for that because, duh, you know.
Don't say that. It might be a hopeless campaign, and it might mean defying Yevon. But the Crusaders and the Al Bhed, they're doing their best to defeat Sin. They want to rid Spira of Sin forever. And that's just what we want too, isn't it? Isn't it?
All right. But I still think Mackinac are bad news. They're forbidden for a reason.
That is true. They are forbidden for a reason. Not a good reason. Debatable, Kaiserhound. I like to think they do actually injure Sin here.
Maester Keenock is also there.
Maester Keenock too?
Yes. Please, hurry, my lady.
Agreed, Crazy Norse. Listen, there's reasons and then there's good reasons. Why do I think Sin is actually injured here? Because I don't think Sin is that strong. That really is what that boils down to. I mean, Sin's a Godzilla, don't mistake me, but even Godzilla isn't absolutely whacked out invincible.
Monopoly's a great thing. Things are selling no matter what the price.
EA's in this game?
Oops, sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, I should... Ah, yes, I actually did, Valvatrix, sorry. I looked it up. They apparently didn't sabotage it. I mean, unless you count total lack of support sabotage, which is debatable. But they didn't do anything to actively make it fail. They just didn't do anything to make it succeed. Oh, double check here.
Welcome.
Ah, there's the stone touch. Oh, that is way too expensive. Yeah, they were literally here like, oh, this sucks. Whether that counts as actual sabotage is up to you, but I basically withdrew the statement. I still think they should have done more to actually support the attack, but that's just me. Because, again, even if you're evil and stupid, oh, no. Even if you're evil and want to be in charge and be like, then there is a legitimate value in defeating Sin here. This is also debatable, if depending on how you think of whether or not Sin is capable of restoring itself without actually having the ritual of the final summon. Yeah, no kidding, Takoida. Considering how many people got just exterminated here. Although, as we'll see in a minute, Sin's powers are very cutscene-y, which actually irritates me, if I'm being honest. His Sin's power level varies literally from cutscene to cutscene. And so that's another reason why I find it so hard to put a finger on exactly how strong Sin is, you know? I will go ahead and admit, the only cutscenes, excuse me, that I tend to just eject from continuity, or however you want to think of that, is when he basically causes enough damage that it could be visible from space, even though it does no damage whatsoever. That scene, that's just, no. I really want that.
Welcome.
Can I afford that? What are those worth? Those are worth nothing. Yeah, it's like Eden in FF8. Eden isn't literally destroying a galaxy. Come on. No. I don't buy it for a second. I'm gonna do that, because I really want that.
Welcome.
So apparently you don't get experience from petrified enemies, which is news to me. I'll believe you. I guess. Unless you're lying to me. But yeah, I mean, if we want... In my opinion, if we're going to consider all of Sin's abilities as canon, then we have to consider several other abilities as canon. At which point, Eden is probably the strongest thing in the entire franchise, because... galaxy wrecking, right?
Shortly. Please check all your equipment.
You alright?
Of course not. I came here to fight Sin. But they stick me here.
If you want to prove yourself.
Huh?
First, you must complete the tasks you are given.
Just doing what they say? It just won't be enough.
So, should we have Gata killed, or Luzu? Nobody's talking. Where'd my people go? I honestly don't remember Crazy Norse. I didn't even know it was a choice the first time. I think I just got whatever the default is, which I don't remember what that is.
That's right. It's not fair.
It's not what the coin said. Okay, so Luzu died in my default.
Oh.
He kinda didn't, Mr. Red. Okay, so you have to keep in mind, Jecht isn't in control. Like, Jecht is in control in the same way a guy with a carrot on a stick on top of a giant elephant might be able to sway the elephant's attention. Even that's not really getting across how vague of a control he has over the situation.
I had heard from Seymour, but I didn't know if we'd actually meet.
That hug, holy crap.
Good to see you, Auron. 10 years, is it?
That's Wen Kinok, one of the 4 maesters of Yevon. He leads the warrior monks, and also commands the Crusaders.
Yes, Seymour flat out says he has, I live forever, so I can spend forever learning how to control sin. He is probably mistaken. Again, one of the things, I know I just said sin isn't that powerful, but one of the important things to keep in mind is how powerful sin is. And I don't just mean like, I can smash cities. I mean the sheer amount of power pumping through it. Think of a starship on Star Trek. Think about the absolutely ludicrous amount of power a warp core generates. Like, that's the kind of power that someone's saying, I'm going to go ahead and control that by hooking my brain up to the warp core. For being honest, it's a little amazing that any programming survived the summoning at all. In fact, I've often had a suspicion that the original writing was that nothing survived and Sin was just completely rampaging, and the writers quickly realized if Sin had no programming, therefore no way to control how he operates, he would just kill everything. And so they kind of had to be like, okay, the programming survived. The programming survived. I don't know if that's true. I've just suspected
ready
it.
To move at your command, sir.
Good. Dismissed.
Sir.
Tell me, Orin, where have you been the last 10 years?
We don't have time for this now, do we?
This plan won't work. You know that. We'll just let them dream a little longer.
What?
Lord Keenock.
One of the things I always am weirded out by a little bit is the fact that Keenock is way more open about this than he probably should be here. I've always had a suspicion, again, this is entering the realm of headcanon, but I've always had the suspicion that Keenock kind of thought Orin would be like him, and would want to be a high-ranking member of the church with power and wealth and prestige, just like Keenock became. So he kind of like was like, yeah, hey, treating him as if he was, well, frankly, an equal, and thereby in on it. It's only until later he realizes that, you're just a bunch of cocksure idiots.
Oh, yes. Proceed.
It's also possible he is just way too arrogant.
Keenock, a maester?
I heard that, Orin. A lot has happened the last 10 years. What were you doing and where?
Fulfilling a promise I made to a friend. I still am.
Just tell me one thing. Have you seen Zanarkand?
I kinda think we don't belong here.
Evening, glorious barbarian.
It is time at last. We must tell the Al Bhed waiting outside to begin the operation at once. The fiends may break through. This place is not safe.
One final note, if I might. Yeah, Keenock, I've argued that most of the people in this game aren't truly evil or truly villainous. Keenock's the exception I keep bringing up. Keenock is evil. Like, traditionally corrupt politician, evil. I don't remember Dakota. I guess we'll see, because we're going to get some of his backstory as we go. Anyways. So, one final note about this. Obviously, Operation Mi'ihen is a failure. Whether it ever could have succeeded, that's up to you. Oh, cool. Well, thank you for checking, Mitch. I was going to take your word on it. I didn't remember, but I leaned on Petrify heavily several playthroughs through. So anywho, so whether or not this could have ever done anything to Sin, who knows? But there's one extremely important thing to keep in mind. You know what the scientific method is? I swear this is related. To summarize, it's like, try, fail. Okay, now I've got some new results. Try, fail. Okay, I've got some new results. Right? I bring this up because what they do here is they try, they fail, and then they say, they could never have succeeded. We must never do this again. Ever. Now, what's funny to me about this is not only is that obviously the wrong message, but more to the point, the Al Bhed don't do that. If you pay attention, the Al Bhed keep trying. That's what leads to them making the big cannon on this airship later. So they took this idea and were like, well, that didn't work. Let's try something else. I just think that's interesting to think about.
Make sure you're prepared to defend yourselves. Tell me when you're ready.
I can see that, Dakota. Sure, Gum Gum. Although, this is not a good scene for that, because I'm going to be talking a bunch. Maybe we'll get to the Rock Road or whatever. Good evening, Hazardous. I am not a bastard, thank you very much.
Anything could happen. Make sure you're ready for combat.
I'm a little nervous.
Your dedication will be rewarded.
Alright, who's donating? Who's donating? I knew it! It's Hazardous! Well, first of all, grats, Hazardous. That is always good news to hear. Especially since a couple of my friends are getting the opposite of that soon. So that's awesome. And I'll put that towards Daham 5. Oh, God! Thank you very, very much, Hazardous. Very much appreciate the support. Thank you, sir. Which one's Hom 5? I played one of them on stream, but I don't know which one that was.
Go to Yuna.
Okay, hey, Yuna.
I'm a little nervous.
Okay. Maybe he should have said come to Yuna. I'm sorry. I'm just terrible jokes today. I don't know what's up with me. We have the ancient Machina. The operation will succeed. Our Machina will prove Yevon's teachings are not the way. Yeah, that's not how that works.
Are you ready? Please hurry. Are you ready? Mr. Keenock, please.
Oh no, I said this earlier, Mr. Red. I don't think Sin's toxin exists at all. I think that they don't understand what happens to people who are devastated by Sin, so they just assume it's Sin's toxin.
Sin always returns for its spawn. To make sure, we're going to encourage them to call out to it.
You won't have to. It'll come.
I remembered Orin telling me. Sin is my old man. Sin is Jecht.
Yeah, actually, most of the random NPCs of Yevon are portrayed relatively reasonably. Go figure. Someone asked who I think the worst person in FF10 is. Keenock. I already said that. Boss fight. I don't like this song in general, so I'm kind of biased here. Let's try not to suck this time, yeah? Yeah, that's what I think, Mr. Ed. Although, it's debatable, because the game doesn't make it clear, to my knowledge, whether or not Sin's toxin is a real thing or not. The Ultimania might cover it, but as we've already said, screw the Ultimania. I actually don't remember if it covers it. I still think this is probably my favorite Ifrit in general. Which is funny, because this is also my favorite summon in this game. And also the only summon I like in this game. Oh, that's not true. I like the Mage's Sisters. They're alright. I don't like Yojimbo. Way too over-designed for my tastes. Hey, humanization. What's up? Uh-oh, the head is moving suspiciously. Not that I'm aware of pillars of snow. Although nobody's called dibs, period. And dead. Yeah. Kind of called that, but whatever. Got a big hit in. I don't like Shiva either for the same basic reason. Little too over-designed, and I really don't like her hair. Just not my thing. I really don't like Bahamut. This might be one of my least favorite Bahamuts in the series. When he's the big thing. The kid's fine. Shiva's ice effects are awesome. Yeah, same. Almost all of them have the over-designed problem for me. That's really what that boils down to. Okay, let's see if we can really make this work this time. I don't even remember what he's weak to. Do I have... I don't have walkout right now. Hang on. Hey, Walker, come here. I have Scout on. Nah, whatever. Come back, Lulu. Thunder, sure, whatever. Okay, using the palm this time. Oh my God! Whatever. I do like his animation of digging his heels in. That's good. Oh, I must... Right, I just got the stone touch blitzball. Whatever. No dibs. No dibs. You can spend money to dibs, which I shouldn't say that, but otherwise no dibsing. Out time, Bragwin. But I'm really happy it showed up. Merry Christmas. I hope it works out well. Like, you gotta let me know over the next, like, month how it turns out. I don't hate it, Blue Wolf Alex, but I'm pretty meh on it. That's why what the plus to the overdrives is for the overdrive system, not the overdrives themselves. So they're stupid Gundam. Sorry. Get up. Glad I just bought all this Phoenix Downs. Yeesh. I just... Yeah, I don't care for Ixion either, for the same reason that you've probably already heard me use. Well, I mean, again, Mr. Red, if we were to take such a perspective on it... Stupid guy. That would be very funny. If we were to take such a perspective... I mean, PTSD is a real thing, right? I should know. So, obviously, Sin's toxin just being a phrase for PTSD would make perfect sense. The distinction I'm making is that there's no literal poison. There's no curse. There's no malady from a magical external source that's causing it. It's an internal problem. At least that's the way I like to think of it. I know that's not necessarily true. Yeah, time to start hasting up. Because this boss fight is not going well, and I have no idea how much health he has. Forgot about the arms.
So the arms are for defense.
Yeah, Gamara, could you come here real quick? There it is. Okay, so he's got 8,000 health left. Jeez Louise. Okay, switch back to someone useful. No, that was Auron. Garrus isn't in this game, to my knowledge. Oh yeah, the boss... So, this goes back to what they kind of talked about, and haven't really shown until now. That each of the... That the Sin spawn can kind of basically combine up, eventually making Sin himself. Because, yeah, this is the combination of the Sins the spawn we saw earlier kind of merge together, so that's neat. I don't know how deliberate that is, but I have to assume it was at least a little bit deliberate. Yeah, so haste in a game with this kind of turn-based thing is incredibly useful. In fact, having a very high speed is very, very useful. Anyway, sorry, Cumanization, I didn't answer your question. I don't really have a preference between the two. I'll take whatever. I'm good, yo. Akai Vurul Valem. I mean, like, it's probably worth noting, two of my favorite combat systems in the Final Fantasy series are 10 and 10-2. So make of that what you will. Dude, Devastator would totally wreck. Just saying. Menasor, though, screw Menasor. Nobody likes him. I think this is my 4th cheer? Something like that. Galvatronus? I don't actually know that one. I lost my geek cred. I don't know who Galvatronus is. I'm assuming it's something to do with Galvatron. I'm starting to think it's a thing, Hazardous. It's up to you, really. Wait a minute. You're doing it on purpose, aren't you? I knew it! That's a fair point, Damashi. The fact that Sin literally has gravity-based elementalism is kind of against the whole Sin poison thing. Now, Mitch Connor pointed out rather validly earlier, it is entirely possible that it's just, well, listen to me, that it is the... Okay, we're still hasted. It's just the concentration of pyroflies, because pyroflies can affect people. Like, we know that. And, I mean, Sin is a ridiculously dense concentration of pyroflies, so... Logic. Well, no, it makes sense, Gum Gum, if you look at things from a literal... not this one. Surface level. If you look at things from a surface level, it makes perfect sense. It's only until you start looking under the surface that you start to realize how much that's just not going to work out. The whole everyone's a soldier concept. Unicron would probably beat everything on this entire planet. In an extremely literal sense of the word. Oh, thank you, Myron. I had a vague memory of having to recast Haste, and that's why I was checking. Might have been because of deaths. I guess we're in attack phase, let's just keep attacking. Has everyone taken a turn? Hang on, has everyone taken a turn? Real quick, real quick. I know Yuna has. She's gonna heal on herself here. Lulu get some experience. I think everyone took a turn, but I'm just making sure here, because I really don't want to miss out on the experience of this boss. Yeah, we can send in Unicron. He'll make use of the planet. He's still hasted. I can tell by his animations. I've heard of it, I think, Gum Gum. Maybe. Sounds familiar. Probably should have done that anyways. I forgot I actually got focus on her now. Does focus stack? Listen, EA is our Lord and Savior. Wait. So I'm guessing focus stacks 5 times, just like the other thing. Let's bring in the A-team here. Seriously, Bragman? I suppose that doesn't surprise me. Damn it, Captain Zeus, that movie sucked so hard. Sorry. But it did. And dead. I like how he stays dead out there. That's hysterical. Oh, right. Lulu is the one who has life. Come on back here. Come on back. Come on back. There you go. Damn it, Myron. Stop catching up to me. I didn't get to play it, like, at all off camera. Just a very small amount. I intended to, and that didn't go anywhere. So, the first thing out of my mouth there, Gum Gum, was going to be, why don't you hate it? The expert grid? I can't really decide yet. Because it does seem like everyone is less classy. Like, there's less classes than the normal grid. However, I did a little looking at it off camera. And it looks like it is far more... finally got to phrase this. It looks like it's a whole lot more well-designed. I don't know how better to put that. Like, it looks like more thought and effort was put into balancing it properly, as it indeed should be. But we all know nobody likes turn-based games. That's why we have to never make them again, Dakota. Yeah, Auron... Yeah. Ugh. So the most recent season I have not seen, Console Hot. So I can't really speak to it. So that should be the kill. Don't be ridiculous, Kohei. Only people like us like that. Wait. I do not, Captain Zeus. Sorry. My Transformers lore is like my Halo lore. I know a few things. Hey, there's a giant shadow out there. I wonder what that is. So he's got the shield up right now. Notice we never see the shield before or since. This is also... Notice, once again, each time he shows up, we see more of Sin. Also, gross. That's pretty sad, Captain Zeus. Oh, I know, Damashi. The problem is too many people don't think there's any value in turn-based games, and they're wrong. And by people, I mean money people. People who make decisions. So there's the other shield. Now this is an offensive shield. He just kills people with that. now it's time for Seymour to get a chance to show off. To my knowledge, this is the only time he's playable, which is just such a weird thing. I've always felt that some of Seymour's content was cut from the game.
Stand back, Lady Yuna.
Yes.
Or, rather, no. You want me to show off his overdrive? Hang on. Just for the sake of showing it off. It'll work. Hang on. There we go. So that's his overdrive. Pretty nice. Yeah, let's blow this really quick. Seymour's a powerful mage who was further imbued by having a powerful summon. That's all there is to it, really. Then he dies. You'll notice he is at his weakest when he is still alive. And after he dies, he becomes an unsent and gains the ability to control his fireflies, because that's how that works. So that's why Seymour is strong. Any unsent can be stronger than a normal living person. Yeah, he lichefies, to put it into D&D terms. Honestly, I'm surprised more people don't, Valvedrix. Like, I mean, I would. Just saying. There is the risk of devolving into a fiend, and you're also vulnerable to summoners and their stupid thing where they can, like, send you. So you're vulnerable to sending. But I mean, again, to take the Lich parallel back, Liches have their vulnerabilities. Who friggin' cares? That is implied, yes, Crazy Norse. Personally, I do think that it's the nobody thing from Kingdom Hearts. You need to have... If you're a living being, you need air, water, food, shelter to survive, right? If you're an unsent or a nobody, you need will to survive. That's the only thing that keeps you going. And if you do it too long, or excuse me, if you fail, if you lapse, then you cease, or you become a fiend, which is actually worse. I'd still totally freaking go for it. I'm just saying. I think Auron. Basically, yes, Mr. Red. I'll just summarize my answer. Yes, I think that's the long and the short of it. Oh, come on! I can totally do that. Hang on. Let's do this. I mean, I did kind of shift my mentality in how I'm leveling, and I've noticed I'm doing a lot better ever since I did so, just gonna try to start taking this a little more seriously than I usually do. Now, I don't think this attack would have killed Sin, to be clear. I do think it could have done some. Especially if this had been set up better. I mean, that's a lot of power, and it is successfully pushing back against Sin's shield. Which just goes back to the idea that Sin has a lot of power, but he's not actually invincible. Congrats. All right. So that didn't work out. Yeah, I wasn't even going to talk about the fact that the various Zanarkand peoples kind of don't really follow the rules of anything else. And we don't know exactly how much mundane life they have to deal with. It's never really talked about or discussed. Titus says he's hungry, but, I mean, that could be whatever. Yeah, I gotta be blunt. There shouldn't be any survivors. I hate to keep complaining about this, but one of the reasons it's so hard for me to take Sin seriously is he does that Hollywood thing. Massively devastating attack, people are fine. Like, a few people die, but people are relatively unscathed otherwise. And that happens later, too. That's not unique to this circumstance. But ignoring my complaints, this is still a good scene, I think. I'm not sure, Crazy Norse. As I've mentioned before, it's really difficult to properly put a finger on the pulse of how much control Jecht has. And it's worth noting that Jecht himself... I'm sorry, hang on, rewind. I like how each of these has a different dialogue. Slightly warm, no sign of breathing. Staring at the sky, lifeless. Reclining, breathless. Instant, painless death.
What's going on? Why? What's going on?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I sent you to die, Gata. I apologize. Basically, yeah, Gum.
Don't you run away from me!
Oh, well, whatever.
Everyone, stand back! I'll summon!
You won't hurt it! Your powers are still too weak.
I mean, he's right.
Must do something!
You can't!
By the way, look at all the ruins. Going back to that whole landmass comment earlier.
I have no idea what I was thinking when I ran after Sin that day. Before I knew what I was doing, there I was, chasing him down like a thief at market. Maybe I was angry. Maybe I wanted to go home. I kept thinking of Zanarkand and my old man.
He's reciting this to the party in the future, Glorious Barbarian. Hey, look, it's the very, 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 very final dungeon. Holy crap. Also known as... Huh? Seriously, your guess is as good as mine on this thing. I don't frickin' know. Yeah, popsicle area. Hey, Bahamut. Excuse me, Bahamut. Okay, this is like a weird... I'll show it off more later, because that's the final dungeon. But it's just weird for weird's sake. I don't even know what the point of it is. But then again, I also think a lot of the Sin Dungeon is weird for weird's sake, to be completely blunt.
That you're gonna retire.
Let them talk. I'm still the best.
They say you're no good because you drink all the time.
First showcasing of the fact that Jecht had a drinking problem, by the way, which is going to come up a few more times in a bit.
I can quit drinking whenever I want.
Then do it now.
What did you say?
You just said you can.
Tomorrow, maybe.
Why not today?
Why do today what you can leave for tomorrow? There he goes again, crying.
I thought I sensed my old man there. Somewhere. Or maybe it was just Sin's toxin playing tricks on my mind.
To answer Mitch Connor really quick, considering we see people who die peacefully and peacefully disperse, I've always presumed that people who the only people who die unfulfilled or unhappy or violent deaths are the ones who become fiends or become unsent or whatever. In other words, that if someone is to die sleeping in their bed, they're not part of the problem, to put it that way.
How many died today? People die and Yuna dances. When will she stop dancing? When will it stop?
Well, either in 10-2...
Not until Sin is gone.
Or never, according to 10-3. Take your pick.
Those were my thoughts then. I think.
I'm going to go ahead and admit something. As much as I like this game, I've been having something specifically in my mind that I've been trying to review. And that is the narration. And I've decided I don't like it. What do you guys think? Like, I really do feel that if the narration was just erased from the game entirely, the game would be fine. And in fact, the game would be better without it.
I see you're still here.
Huh?
Like, to use a direct example, picture that scene we just saw, right? Picture swimming angrily. No dialogue, just swimming angrily, and then we see the flashback for whatever freaking reason. And then we go from the flashback to him sitting on the beach. Still no dialogue. And then he gets up. And then he looks over and we see Yuna dancing, and then Auron walks over and Auron's like, hey.
Many stories ended here today.
It's not the voice acting or the dialogue, it's the fact that it exists at all. I know that sounds strange. But I feel like the very existence of the narration is not something I would have written in, you know what I mean? It's not something I would have actually put into the game. I do think that good dialogue and good voice acting would have salvaged the narration, probably pushed it up into neutral territory. But as is, I just think that it doesn't really serve a strong purpose in the story. I'm still not decided on that, because there's a lot more narration to come, up until, pretty much all the way up until we get to Zanarkand. But
yours goes on, I see.
What?
I don't know. I'll have to keep debating. I definitely don't think it's a plus.
Sin had come and gone, but I remained here.
Like that line. You know? So let's save, because I do not want to fight those bosses again. Now, I will also say one thing. Whether this is a defense or not is up to you. But this was when they were still getting used to animations as characterization in this kind of format. So we might have had a little bit of the I don't want to call it the Xenosaga problem. I have to come up with a better term for that. The excessive telling not showing problem that quite a few games in the PS2 era, quite a few RPGs in the PS2 era had. Sorry, 1 second. I think I have a package at the door. There was a package. I'm glad I checked because it's been raining lately. I don't want to have issues with that. Amazon has this new feature, which I've been making sure to do every single time, where you can rate a delivery. And considering how many issues I have with deliveries, I've been making a point to rate them good or bad, depending on if they actually deliver it appropriately or not. Anyways. Yeah, I just rated that one just now. Couldn't rate the one to you, funnily enough. Wasn't even an option.
You were in contact with Sin again. The toxin. Are you okay?
Dino Kuni 2. I am thinking of plenty of PS2 games, Takoida, but I don't remember if it was Xenosaga, which is why I keep misremembering it as Xenosaga. Because that's what I picture when I picture PS2 RPG. Funnily enough.
A swift retreat. Satisfied?
What do you mean?
Those who turned from Yevon died, while the faithful live on.
The past 10 years have changed you, I see.
Marry me! I mean, hi.
You do not look so well.
You should marry me!
But now, more than ever, you must be the people's strength.
So you can marry me.
Their confidence.
Marry me. Marry me.
Anyone else would be expected to show their sorrow. But you are a summoner. You are Spira's hope. Until sin is defeated, you must not relent. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Are you afraid? Yuna, take me as your pillar of strength. As Yunalesca had her, Lord Zayon.
So that's the first reference to that particular obsession.
Until next week.
He really does have a fixation with being Lord Zayon. Except this time he'll kill everyone. Well, you see, there was a bunch of guys, Loner, and he said not in the hair, but... What the hell is exalted suffering?
Rest while you can. We leave soon.
Oh yeah, that does remind me, Myron. I need to check up on that. By the way, just as a quick reminder, Kimahri has not said a single line of dialogue the whole game. That's going to come up in a scene. The Crusaders will never rise again. I mean, we didn't really need the Crusaders anyways, right? Right? Sorry, Bragwin.
Sin is checked.
You keep telling me that.
Yeah. For a while there, I thought I could feel him. But that doesn't mean I believe you.
Sin is Jecht. He came here for you.
So he killed all those people just for a chance to see me?
That's what Sin does. He wanted to show that to you. Do you know why?
How am I supposed to know?
So you would kill him. As long as he is Sin, Jecht will keep killing. He wants you to stop him.
You gotta be kidding. How do you know all of this anyway? I'm not done talking to you. Don't you run away!
You're the one running.
Yeah, so Gum Gum, how exactly do you have exalted suffering? A state of extreme happiness suffering. Help me out here, dude. I'm failing. Aha! No, it's still not updating. Update! 1 second. Am I set to the right game? Yeah, I am. Okay. Well, that would just be martyrdom. This would be just. I've never been a big thing on martyrdom as a institutional thing. If you want to lay down your life for someone else, sure. If you want to make an institutionalized thing of, you should suffer for the glory of Saint Eva, then piss off. Sorry, I'm checking something. It's not yet, but I just want to see our affection values. If it will update. There we go. Okay, so currently our affection is highest with Lulu. That's pretty much the default for me, I feel. Our affection with Auron is 1. Here, let's adjust that. Let's put Auron's affection up to... I don't know, what's a good number? Like, is there a max? 256? Let's do 200. That's probably good. There. And then let's do an update and make sure it's 2. Yep, okay, so there we go. We have cheated yet again. We now have much affection with Auron. That'll come up later. Affection is a stat that was part of several mechanics that were basically tossed out of the game. To my knowledge, it only affects 3 things, and I previously thought it affected 2. 1 is it affects who's on the sled during the sled scene. 2, it affects who tosses up the blitz ball for your final blitz attack, or the overdrive attack on Tidus. And finally, it changes who goes over on the airship first, or something like that. Something like that. The main way it changes is it changes what cutscene you get, which is the point where it really matters.
Are you all right? Hold still.
No gondola date, sorry. Apparently it changes which scene in Guadosalam. Because I've been told Auron has the best cutscene.
A bundle with the operation prices. But the way it turned out, they deserved a better deal.
Nah. It's like XM.
I guess the summoners are our only hope.
No, they're... God, I'm gonna kill you all. Ugh. You know what, just for that, I'm gonna use the map. There. Behold. Thank you very, very much, XM. Much appreciate the sub, sir. Thank you. And I will put that towards Dragon Age Online in just a moment. There we go. Well, I mean, I usually get Lulu's scene without even trying to. So, you know. So there's Spira. There are several references to this being the world, but there's also a few pretty minor hints that this is only one Dragon Age Origins, sorry. That this is only one... It's an... Oh, what do you want from me? Only one continent on the planet, which has always been my headcanon, by the way, that this is only one continent on the planet. And again, considering that Sin is basically policing the whole continent, it would make sense that they don't get out and no one else gets in, right? I mean, that just lines up.
Hey, you two! Hurry up!
I mean, only if you guys pay me to, Kev, mate. I don't decide what I stream. If you didn't make me play it again for a review, I would never play Inquisition again, though. Put it that way.
She's awfully cheerful.
In dark times, she must be. She must shine bright.
Huh?
Enjoy that mouth. You can see his teeth. Back there, you can see his molars. So yeah, first line of dialogue in the whole game. This is about 12 hours in.
Now are dark times. Yuna tries hard.
We should help her then.
If we worry, she tries harder. Do not frown.
Don't worry, be happy.
Kimahri try too.
Smile, let me see.
No, Crazy Norse. I've only played Inquisition once. Well, that's terrifying.
Sad.
We've been excommunicated. That might throw us out. Ah, it'll be fine. No one cares, right? So yeah, moving on. He'll be fine, Takoi. He's been excommunicated. He's got other things to worry about than dying. I've been debating that, Classic Brandon. Ha ha ha! God, I love that weapon. Sorry. Love that weapon. Yeah, Wakka's part of the permanent party for, like, the next... the last time I remember using that was up past the lightning plains. Which I guess isn't that far from here, but still. Whoop, wrong person. Get out of my party. Aw. Fine, fine. Kill them the normal way. I do need some ability spheres, so let's get a few of those. Yeah, Kimahri... Okay, so rewind. So Operation Mi'ihen is... I don't know. It didn't have as much impact as I thought it would this time around. Like, I remember it reasonably fondly, but at the same time it's like... Oh my god. See if I can show you a Crazy Norse. If I ever get a turn on the right character.
This should be quick!
Yeah, the Keenock stuff was actually pretty decent. The Seymour stuff is definitely foreshadowing. That's why I love that weapon. No ability spheres. Sadness. See, that's an interesting point, Classic Brandon, because to me that almost feels like a negative. Let me think about that. Let me think about that. Hey, it's a boss. Ugh.
I'll take you all on.
That's true, Dakota. The military can never win. Why? Because it's a kaiju. Aww. I do actually want to get some ability spheres, though. I shouldn't find that as funny as I do. But whatever. Oh, it's not proccing. I'm really curious if I can proc on Flan. That's why I'm trying for it. There it goes. So it can proc on Flan. Okay, 4 ability spheres should be enough for now. Let's go ahead and level a little bit. I don't know. I mean, okay. I don't disagree with you, Mr. Ed. It's one of those situations where it's kind of debatable how correct something is to do versus something else, you know? I'm not saying what Orin is doing is incorrect, I'm just saying it's an interesting debate to have. I do agree, however, he probably wants everyone to, you know, come to their own conclusions and learn on their own right. Where is she? I see where she is. I care about that? A little bit. Let's go and go... That's a lot of empty nodes. Whatever. See you around, Classic Grinder. I'm still debating the Mihin thing. It's just... The Mihin scene didn't really work for me this time around. Hey, Cord. Which I admit surprises me a little bit, but I mean, that's how these are supposed to go. I'm supposed to judge with a modern perspective. With as little bias as I can manage. Lulu now has prey. No, I mean, okay, if you want me to actually sit down and analyze what I didn't like about the scene. The narration, which I really don't think worked, like I said earlier. I don't know. I don't know how to put it into words. There's no emotion there. Nothing was evoked. Unless you count disgust. Which I suppose you could. At Keenock and Seymour. Mostly, so most of the Seymour stuff is with the advantage of, you know, knowing the rest of the game. But even in the moment, it's like, you're just looking at Keenock like, what the hell, dude? Right? And we do get some good interactions with Keenock and Seymour. I'll absolutely give that. Yeah, a bunch of nameless people dies. Or Luzu. And Luzu, whatever. You get the point. And it's like, okay. So, 1 second. Everything, all of my packages are getting delivered today. So this one, which one's this one? Ah, okay. And a piece of tech gets completely wasted. And we'd start to see... This is probably the first time, really, that we see how... I'm trying to think of a word other than evil. How villainous the church actually is in its operations. Now, I know you could argue that back and forth, but the point I'm trying to reach is that... no matter how you think of it, the church was basically just portrayed as there up until now. Dogmatic, but whatever, right? Now the church has done something actually horrible. For arguably the first time in the game. And it also kind of sets up the tone of the fact that the church is going to be basically the main antagonist of a large chunk of the game. Even though they are ultimately completely minuscule compared to the threat of sin itself. But as with a lot of fiction, when you're fighting... Whoops, wrong button. When you're fighting a hurricane and a corrupt politician... the corrupt politician tends to get a lot of screen time. Although, again, hurricane's the wrong analogy, but you get what I'm saying.
Farewell. No time to waste. Let's go.
It's funny they talk about welcoming the excommunicated back because, as 10.2 teaches us, the overwhelming majority of them were not. I mentioned that earlier with regards to the LeBlanc Syndicate. I firmly believe that the Yevon faith is not an evil church. Well, I'm saying that wrong. Hang on, let me rewind a second. I firmly believe that most Yevonites are not evil. There we go. Let's phrase that as clearly as we can. Yeah, I figured they'd be immune. Hey, we have prey finally. And that's true, Dakota. That is very true. Well, Walk is dead. As I mentioned earlier, of course you have, Myron. As I mentioned earlier, I think it's one of the reasons why I have such a hard time calling, you know, most of the Yevonites evil, other than Keenock, obviously. See you around, Dakota. I think Keenock qualifies. He is an archetypal... Archetypal? Whatever. He is a very typical... I am a corrupt bureaucrat who is interested in my own power. That is him, in a nutshell. Screw you, got mine. That's him. Nope. I mean, I usually just level my favorites, if I'm honest. And that's mostly based on either their dialogue or their attack animations. I'm really big on animations when it comes to games like these. I do that in FF12 as well. No, I think I'm okay on ability spheres for the moment. Although I guess I do need more later. That's a valid point. I'm going to need some as soon as I get in range of the auras, which is going to be at about 8 levels, something like that. Hey, Walker. Hey! We just learned our first overdrive mode. Did I hit? I didn't even check. Pay attention, Lord. Okay, yeah, it landed.
See ya!
And yeah, the little dunk with Yuna's attack isn't really very awesome to me. 3 ability spheres. Woo. Speaking of which...
Hey! How much longer till Xanarkand?
Nowhere.
Still a ways.
First down the Moonflow to the Guado city of Guadosalam. Then we cross the Thunder Plains to the Temple of Macalania.
Oh, boy.
And before that, we get to pray at the temple in Jose.
We can't just skip all that, can we? Huh?
Mm-mm. I have to pray to the faith in every temple in order to earn the final Aeon.
That's a summoner's training. She's got to prepare mind and body, all just to get ready for the final summoning.
Translation. Gotta level up.
Must be tough, Yuna.
I'll be fine with you here.
In Jose... Sorry. Vampires. Oh, sorry.
Hey, new guy.
Me?
Who else?
What can I do for you, boss?
Don't tell Yuna you know about Sin and Jecht.
Shouldn't you have said that a while ago?
Huh?
You know her. She would distance herself from you. We do not want that.
I see. I think.
No, you don't.
Yeah, but even if I did say something, no one believed me, you know?
Yuna would.
Ah, you have a point. Come to think of it, did I really have to know about Jecht? What about my feelings?
Better than you finding out at a critical moment, becoming emotional.
What? Me? Emotional?
I heard you were quite the crybaby.
Yeah, maybe when I was a kid. Maybe even a little now. Just a little.
Hey, I still don't buy your story, you hear?
Yeah, sure. The voice direction is bad in this game. We have many examples of that and many signs indicating it. Interviews even, talking about bad voice direction. Yes.
Yuna, it is good to see you and your companions are...
Okay, what's worse? The bikini underwear thing, and it's like green scales. The neck thing, and its green scales, or the fact that the two look like they're one unit. So it looks like she's wearing something that's basically like this, and then goes all the way down, and then she put on her purple vest over it.
Well.
Yourselves as well, Captain. We were worried. Praise be to Yevon.
Nah. Piss on Yevon.
We escaped with our lives, but our troops were decimated.
Of all our chocobos, only this one made it.
We make pretty poor chocobo-mounted forces without chocobos.
We turned our backs on the teachings and cast away our faith. This is our just reward.
This is why the church was doing what they were doing in Operation Mi'ihen, right there.
It's just you now, but don't worry, we're here for you.
So many died in vain. It was a mistake.
How dare we try?
We should never have ignored the teachings.
Because the teachings had anything to do with anything. Also, Kimon.
Is that the Jose Temple?
Oh, I guess I can move. I know, right? Humanization. I sound derisive, but it's worth noting that it's mostly sad.
Awesome.
Like, I lament, you know? The amount to which that they blame themselves.
Mushroom Rock. It only opens when a summoner is addressing the faith.
That means another summoner's already in there.
Another summoner?
Quick aside, this thing is just in a permanent state of open in 10.2. So...
What if it's Donna?
We have to hurry.
Right. In we go.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a plot hole. Sorry, I should clarify my statement. It's just, I've always kind of wondered what exactly, really, is the thing that, you know, determines what keeps the temple open. Because obviously it's something that's just in a permanent on state in 10.2, as previously indicated. Well, obviously, Gum Gum. Purity of blood is why the Germans are a perfect race in Hitler's mind.
The monks said we could stay here for a while.
I've been thinking about the future.
Yeah, me too, buddy.
I would pray for those fallen in battle.
Not me.
But how? How can I enter the temple after what we have done?
Must not kill everyone.
Luzu, he's...
Where is he?
He's
I
dead.
found him, but he was torn in half.
That idiot!
What do I do now? I can't do this. I'm going back to Besaid.
That was a decent line reading. I'll give him that.
Luzu!
If you think about it, that really should freak someone out, especially if it's basically their first real taste of combat.
So you're a champion of Yevon now, Braska?
Posthumously nobleated. Hey, it's Quentin Flynn.
I beg your pardon, but may I ask your name?
I am Summoner Yuna, from the Isle of Besaid.
As I thought. The daughter of Lord Braska. You have the look of your father.
My father? You knew him?
Yes, and soon I will do tourist traps in Samarkand. You must speak the password! Sorry.
No, I have never met the man. Ah, my apologies. I am Isaru. I am a summoner, like you.
I'm Bussy. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Maroda. I'm guarding my big brother here.
Since I was a child, I've always looked up to Lord Braska. I wished I would someday become a high summoner like he was. You must have some of your father's talent in you. I believe you might someday defeat Sin.
I'm not really. I've only just become a summoner.
Of course, I've no intention of losing either. So perhaps we should race to see who can defeat Sin first, no?
Oh, very well then. I accept your challenge.
Isaru!
Yuna, I beg your leave. Good luck to both of us.
Yes.
I know. Keymon?
Hey, you.
What?
Me?
You are Yuna's guardian, no? Meroda's heard a curious rumor. I thought you should know.
I heard it from those Crusaders. Seems that summoners have been going out on pilgrimage and just disappearing.
It could just be the fiends got them, but not so many so quickly.
Sorry I don't know more, but watch your back. Ain't much future for a guardian without a summoner, eh?
What? What? What y'all talking about?
We're talking about doing your job as a guardian.
Hey, I'm doing good. Right, big brother?
I want you to picture if Isaru succeeded and Pache became the new Sin. Just process that for a minute.
Please be careful.
Will do.
If you're paying attention, that's the second
what?
Second foreshadowing for the Al Bhed plot that'll be coming up later. They do start laying those pieces early, so that's nice. So what do I think is worse, the Legion or Yevon? Well, that is pretty interesting of a question.
The cloister of trials lies within. Are you prepared?
I mean, I have to pick Legion, even though I want to pick Yevon. Yevon bothers me more. Yevon upsets me. The Legion's just, we're gonna kill everything and everywhere.
All right, Guardians, at attention.
We are ready.
All right, let's do it.
Well, again, the thing that really pisses me off about the Yevon thing is it's one of those really horrible situations where you can't really blame an individual. I mean, there's a few individuals you can blame, but what I mean by that is it really is the system that's the problem. As I've said many times, it's the cycle that's really causing all these issues. The Legion is being perpetuated by individuals who are actively trying to destroy and annihilate, right? There's a lot of blame to go around in the Legion. I don't remember this one. Let's see. Okay. See that. Okay. Yeah, honestly, even Yunalesca, this sounds like horribleness, but even Yunalesca really does seem to believe what she's talking about, you know? In short, there's no malice there. There's no corruption. There's no evil intent. You know? That's an interesting way to put that, Maria Graywall. Seymour is the logic taken to its extreme. Unalesca is the logic taken at its core. Go here for a second. Reset it, don't I? Hello, Roaring. What is up? Here's an interesting question for you. Do you think Vegnagun could have defeated the original Sin? Since we really have no idea on that one. I mean, Vegnagun could destroy the continent in one shot. So, make of that what you will. Not live, no, Roaring. I'll talk about it Sunday. I'm trying to remember how this works. Yeah, that's what I thought. Probably, Kira. Probably. I don't remember why I'm lighting up this stupid emblem, so whatever. That's true. Vegnagun was consuming Firefly power pretty much the same way Sin does. It's possible Vegnagun could more or less literally eat Sin. I don't know. Like I said, it's an interesting question to consume. The only reason we will never really know that is because they thought being destroyed by Sin was a better fate than activating Vegnagun. Make of that what you will. Oh, there we go. Okay. Probably, G-Soldier. That wouldn't surprise me. It's like thinking, okay, do we set off nukes on our own base, or allow Godzilla to eat us? Well, whatever. You know. Well, you'd say that, Pillars of Snow, but they still built it. The problem, Gum Gum, is if you're going to unite anything that strongly, what you're actually doing is dividing by making a very strong and delineated line between yourself and everyone else. So it's actually more about dividing than uniting, just changing where the lines are. So, I never remember the order to do these in. It's so weird seeing it without the doors open. Right.
Stop pacing around. Be calm and wait.
Let me do my amazing 1-foot trick.
Well, well, you again.
How did you...
Still traveling with quite the crowd, I see.
Still a walking whore, I see.
What is it, Bartello? You know this riffraff?
You are... Aren, no?
What of it?
Can I shake your hand? Aren. No, Sir Aren. You're the reason I became a Guardian.
I like how Orin takes it in good faith, by the way. Bartello's cool. I like Bartello.
Thank you, sir. This means so much to me.
Calling the personal guardian the Lord Braska riffraff?
And you call yourself a summoner?
Yeesh. Bartello, enough. Get back here.
Hang in there, buddy. Hey?
Like I said, I do actually like Bartello. Oh my god, Kira, you're right! Sin is people's clothings! Hey, Rex.
Quite the show, yeah? Not so good on the heart, though.
You should try to settle down. Yuna will be blamed if anything happens.
Possibly Mr. Red? I guess it's one of those who shoots first kind of situations, right? I personally firmly believe that if Vegnagun got his main cannon off on Sin, that would be the end of Sin. Just gone. Now, that being stated, I do agree, if Sin got in range of Vegnagun, Vegnagun would probably lose. Vegnagun is basically a giant artillery cannon. It's not... There's a reason we can do so much damage to it in melee range, right?
I swear, I'll never wash this hand again.
Bartello.
Please, touch me with that hand and I'll remove it.
Pick spot. Shut up. Wait.
Okay.
You owe much to your father. All these guardians. And Sir Orin too? And I hear Maester Seymour's quite taken with you.
It's okay, he's only interested in attractive women.
The world must look different when you're the daughter of Lord Braska.
This has nothing to do with my father. I'm traveling on my own, as a full-fledged summoner.
Oh, is that so? Then try standing on your own two legs for once.
Are you even physically capable of that with the outfit you're wearing? I know you have Bartello carry you around everywhere.
Your guardians won't be able to protect you when the time comes.
you want to be Ixion, say me in chat. Oh, all the double-sided tape, Crazy Norse. She's got so much double-sided tape going on. J. Maria Greywall, that will super not fit. You're gonna have to help me out. J. Maria will fit. We can do J. Maria Gray. We can do Greywall. Greywall will barely fit. We now have a lightning horse, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to kill.
No matter how dark the night, morning always comes.
Until everyone's dead.
Begins anew.
We're leaving once Yuna gets here.
Donna has left. Isaru too.
I'm glad you're talking now.
Get ready for the journey ahead.
I could say a lot of other unkind things about Seymour, since Donna's probably older than... What is it, 17? God, Seymour. Seriously? Wouldn't this place be extraordinarily uncomfortable to be in? There's a lot of cloth and fabric and carpet in an area where lightning is freely flowing regularly. Just picture walking around. Like just as you hit the, just as you walk on the carpet. Yeah, of course I do, J. Maria Greywall. But I also think the Al Bhed aren't. How do I phrase this? I think the Al Bhed are Germans, not Martians, if I'm using my analogy correctly here.
She was working until dawn, healing the wounded, sending the fallen.
Okay. I guess I'll just let her sleep for now, then.
Fully clothed, like you do. I sleep fully clothed.
What? Morning?
Don't worry.
No, Gum Gum. It really, really, really doesn't.
I'm so sorry.
An isolated market cannot exist long term.
I'll get ready right away. Just a moment.
That's actually a proven fact. Yuna.
Don't worry. It's okay.
Yuna. Chillax. Yeah, I sleep in a tie for my naps, actually. I do that.
Yo, sleepyhead.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
Really, there's no rush. Here. Your hair.
It looks as perfectly fine as it always does.
Bad hair. What's the world coming to?
You could have woken me up.
We called to you, but with all that snoring.
What is it today? Everyone's picking on me.
Oh god, that's a weird camera.
You too, Sir Auron?
Once Lady Yuna fixes her hair, we leave.
Sorry, I actually like that. It's a neat little scene. And of course, Auron is perfect there.
I hadn't really laughed like that in a long time. It was only later that I realized. The only one really laughing then was me. Laughing must have been the only thing keeping them going.
Because Yuna was going to go die. They couldn't have told me that at the time, of course, or any other time. Because screw you. And then I got into a random in battle. Then Yuna died, so I had to res her. Then I went about 10 feet and got into another random encounter. So Donna's 24, so yeah, that's why Seymour doesn't like her right there. Because he's a creep. God.
Off so early? Lady Yuna, you must be exhausted after working so hard last night. Will you be okay?
I feel that I have rested enough, but thank you for your kindness. Will you be leaving too?
Yes. First we cross the Moonflow, and then we head north in search of chocobos to replace those we have lost.
Once we find chocobos, our mounted forces will ride again.
Huh? Aren't you missing someone?
Captain! Wait for me!
Why do you make him
What took
run?
you so long? We're leaving.
You expect me to keep up with a chocobo?
Lady Yuna, I wish you good fortune. Elma, Clasco, let's go.
Ma'am.
Hey, can I just rest a sec?
No complaints.
Wah wah. He's being forced marched, which can lead to death. Isn't that funny?
Where to next?
We cross the Moonflow.
Gotcha. Moonflow, baby, here we come.
Seriously, though, for a second, I feel like I've actually already made my point, but this is why I say this game is so much better than FF13. So far, we've had, really, 2 actual corridors. Now, we've had a lot of corridors, because the whole game is a corridor, but as far as sections of corridor with no real story or plot happening, we've only had the 2. The Mi'ihen High Road and the other half of the Mi'ihen High Road. After we got past that, everything has been events and circumstances and stuff happening, and then we go over here, and there's a few encounters, then we go over this, and we do this, and there's a cutscene of this. Compare and contrast this side by side to 13, and it really is 19, not day and night. And yeah, Mi'ihen also has optional stuff you can do along the way, other than just going down a corridor and hearing clop, 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 clop. And fighting enemies, of course. Now, trying to ride the shoop off? Yeah, I've always felt that, I don't know if this is true, the Mi'ihen High Road is there to jump your levels up, because you don't have a lot of chance for random encounters, aka, leveling, up until the Mi'ihen High Road. I still feel you, Blue Wolf, I wanted to make my point very clearly. Because I really do feel there's a big gap there. I don't need ability spheres right now. Just die. You are already dead. But yeah, as I've said many times, just every JRPG is a linear game to some extent or another. What really matters is how they present it. That's what really defines how good a JRPG is, in my opinion. It's because he's super hot, isn't it, Mr. Red? It's okay, we all lust after the Tidus.
Good day, everyone.
Especially you!
We can all learn a lesson from what has happened to the Crusaders. Only the truly faithful have a hope of defeating sin.
I mean, no, but I see where you're coming from. You're just amazingly wrong.
Go, go, go!
Yeah, when I saw Stagger in FF7R, my first thought was, ah! Because of FF13. We'll see. Good night, Cord. Have a good rest. By the way, fun fact, to my knowledge, please correct me if I'm wrong here, there's no detriment to swapping in people and taking actions. It's just the fact that, you know, you have to do it. Basically, the experience isn't divided less. So in some games, you would, for example, let's say you get 100 experience and you have 10 party members, everyone gets 10 experience. But that's not true in this game. It's just everyone who takes action equally gets experience. Which means you have to swap out every frickin' combat if you want to make sure everyone's leveled.
Summoner Yuna, ready.
I'm pretty sure about that. Okay, so I'm seeing people in chat confirm my statement. I'm pretty sure I'm right on this one. Because I remember doing tests and being like, well, why don't I just level everyone every combat? And then true horror was known. But anyways, let's do a little leveling really quick. Speaking of which, still haven't gotten my auras. Any? No. Where's he going? He's going down here. Where's she going? Up? Hang on. Yeah, that's Kira. Okay, no, I'm right. I have to just go a weird route to get to it. Lulu certainly seems to be doing better than most of my characters. Go figure. I actually wouldn't have minded if they gained split exp, but the amount of exp was like basically increased by like 5 or whatever. So for example, you could super level someone if you really wanted to. Like in FF6. That's true, Mr. Red, and I will absolutely give you that. I mean, like he just said, I was the only one actually laughing.
Look! One of Kimahri's friends looks just like him.
What?
That totally counts as a butt shot, by the way. See that glorious Ronso butt? Oh, I've been encountering tons of blank nodes. I just don't have anything to put in them right now, Blue Wolf Alex. Like, Yuna right now is at a spot with like 5 blank nodes. Behold the thong. Gaze at the thong! Although, considering that thong is extremely smooth, maybe he just doesn't have anything down there? I don't know.
Both follow summoners on all 4s. Hornless goatlings. Hornless! Hornless!
Can I kill these guys? Answer's no, of course.
You come to insult Kimahri? Wrong. We come to warn little Kimahri. Summoners disappear. Never return. Next will be Kimahri's summoner.
Third point.
Kimahri lost his horn. Next lose his summoner. Pitiful Kimahri. Howl alone. Howl alone.
Do those two got something against you?
They think they're in a 90s sports film. Very sad.
What? They were just picking on you?
Kimahri will deal with them.
And I'll help.
Kimahri alone.
But,
It's Kimahri's problem. We can't interfere. It's a rule.
Piss on rules.
I'm worried.
Let the Ronso deal with Ronso problems, yeah? That's how it's always been.
I mean, I'm worried about those summoners disappearing.
They aren't just disappearing into thin air.
Well...
Hey, if we Guardians do our job, no problem, right?
Oh.
Confident.
Yeah.
Wouldn't Gen Greymane technically qualify as a filth? Filth? Hard thing to say.
So who's next?
Sorry. Just, wow. I should... What I was actually thinking right before that is, I wonder if that big thing is weak to this. Huh. I guess it is. Petrify. God. Him. No? Gotta be him then. No? Him? There it is. Poison Touch. Which, is still not worth a damn. I still can't customize my equipment. How far into this game are we? We haven't unlocked what I consider to be one of the major mechanics yet. Actually, 2 we haven't unlocked still. Never mind the fact that we're about to get Riku in the party. Which, I swear those facts are completely unrelated to each other. Yes, you do, G-Soldier. Which is good. For various reasons. Oh yeah, I need to switch overdrive modes. I need to remember to do that. Masquerade.
Yeah.
There we go. Good boy.
My turn.
I can't really say die in a fire. Die in a stone? Help me out. What should I say here, guys? Die in a rock? Oh my god! Really? J. Maria Graywall? Really? Oh my god. I'm sorry, I missed the question, Gum Gum.
Oh, phew.
Your dedication will be rewarded.
Well, thank you very, very much, Dub. The Dub Dub, which I'm probably saying at least partially correctly. Thank you very, very much for the support. I do hope I've been able to alleviate at least a little bit of boredom at work. It's kind of a gerb. And you say I'll put that in the dealer's choice category, which I shall. Thank you again very much, sir. You got smoked. We will rock you. Oh, what have I done? Remove private property. I'm just gonna go with no. There's just too many issues with that as a universal decree. Hey, Keysphere. Woo! Not that I need him, because I'm apparently super underleveled. Oh my god, I like Mr. Reds there. We will proc you!
I'm good, yeah?
He is the only one who got experience out of that fight, but it was worth it. Yeah, there's a dealer's choice category, which is basically where I put it towards things. So... like, I decide where it goes towards, basically. I mean, no joke, Waka has literally carried me through this game before. That's not a... That's not a joke. Damn it. Die! Yeah, it's taking forever when he doesn't just turn to stone and die instantly. He's still not dead! He knows that Wakka is his one weakness. Wakka's dead. We can't beat him without Wakka, guys. I mean, Wakka, if I'm not mistaken, is the way to do the most damage per turn possible. With the real slots or whatever. Still haven't killed this thing. Hi, Nemesis. Wow. I'm leaning on the proc a little bit too much, guys. I think. Alright, hang on. Oh, right. I don't think so, because it boils down to how many attacks you can get in at max damage, which I believe Wakka has the most. Again, I could be wrong about that. So that's why that was so funny to me. I guess I could show that off now. Apparently Mage's sisters can do more. I'll take your word on it. Obviously, technically, Yojimbo can do the most damage, very technically. Because, you know, he just instantly kills anything, including penance.
We meet again.
Hello, Belgamine.
I heard you took part in Operation Mihin. You've seen that Machina aren't the answer.
Well, in the interest of fairness, they actually are part of the answer. Since, you know, airship.
In the end, only summoners can hope to defeat Sin.
Airship.
You are right. I must train harder.
I can help with that, if you like.
Probably gonna lose this one, too.
A contest of aeons. A friendly contest, of course.
Okay.
I'm ready.
That's the spirit. But before we begin, I have healed.
Only if I cheat, Walker. I'm not going to do it legit.
Shall we?
I am not up for the amount of grind the Dark Aeons take is insane. And I know. I've done it. Days and days of playing 8 hours a day and just doing that while watching TV. So there's Ixion, for those curious.
Call whichever Aeon you want.
Well, gee. I have so many options here. Yeah, there's some formulas that go into the summons, but basically they're what she is at the moment. Later we can customize them a lot more. We're not there yet. No, Nemesis. It's different. I'll show it off when we get there. It's actually not that far from now, if I'm not mistaken.
Don't hold anything back. Show me what you've learned.
I'm just gonna lose this one. Like, I know how to win this, but I've already screwed it up. And if I screw it up at all, it's basically not gonna work, so whatever. Listen, Wakka is awesome, and also Hitler. I'm not saying Wakka's Hitler. There's a period in between those two statements. Waka could defeat Hitler. That is a true statement. Hey, I now have the ability to customize my Aeons. Woo! But yeah, Waka would totally destroy. Waka would be like, "Hi, Hitler." That's... Oh, right. Waka would be like, "Whap!" And I want you to picture... I want you to really sit back, process in your mind. Hitler's up there, his stupid mustache, his stupid hat. And he's giving a speech, right? And all of a sudden, this blitzball comes out of nowhere, smacks Hitler right in the face and kills him. No, it smacks Hitler in the face, and then Hitler immediately goes petrified and then shatters into a million pieces. Art! And then Waka's just back there going... And everyone's like, where did that come from? And they can't even find him because he threw it from way over there. What am I doing? I'm overdriving. Screw it. And thus World War II was averted. Thanks, Waka! And Waka's just like underwater. No, that's it. He was nearby in the ocean, and he was like, I'm done. And his preferred method of defeating Jecht. I gotta be honest, I don't think I've ever fought Jecht and not been ridiculously powerful.
I have a lot to learn.
So my preferred way of killing him is...
Still wet behind the ears, but you have spirit. Here, your prize. Go on, take it.
And yeah, I didn't bother to get it. Very well. So I believe... Yep, I can now finally customize my Aeons. Lore theories on penance. No. Some super ultra weapons fit in lore. Penance... Even the Dark Aeons really don't. I do like Belgemine, in general. That's horrifying, Nemesis. Can we all kill Nemesis in chat really quick here?
Study, Yuna, and grow strong.
Favorite interpretation of Hitler? I don't even know how to answer that question. So I'm not going to. Alright, so... There we go. So, this is the customization. You can give them abilities. The abilities you have access to depend on the summon, and some of them get some really nice stuff, and then some of them don't. It's basically all item stuff. You know, you give them items, like, ooh, you know, whatever. If I'm not mistaken, this list expands later, and I don't remember why. I think it's based on Yuna's own leveling, but don't quote me on that. This song's better than the original, by the way. Not this one, the previous one. Wait a minute, is that Hitler? It was!
I'm here!
Look, I'm just saying that Hitler is one of my favorite punching bags. Put a picture of him on a punching bag. No. Just actually pull out Hitler and just use him as a punching bag. That's how you train for boxing. See, what it is the Professional Boxing Association of Punch-Out. You can talk to the thing and like, I'd like to have a training partner. And they're like, no problem. And they go back in time and they grab Hitler and they pull him forward and they just tie him up with duct tape and they just let him sit there and you just wail on him for a while. That's how all of the various boxers get all their super moves they use in the Punch-Out series, is they learned it on Hitler.
Whoa!
If you're prepping for Shinryu and Omega, you need to go pretty far, Damashi, but how far I go depends on my mood, really.
This is the Moonflow.
These are moon lilies. They say that clouds of fireflies gather here when night falls.
The entire river glows like a sea of stars.
I mean, this is the third ancient underwater city we've encountered in this game. I don't have much to add to it, J. Maria Graywall. I stand by what I've said many times. The idea that I really do feel like either the land mass has been, reduced, or oh my god, and the amount of and or that there are plenty of cities that used to be further out and have since been destroyed and shoved, but basically the terrain cracked down. So I guess one way or another the landmass has been reduced. 4.
Really?
Easy answer, Gum Gum. Type 4.
Hey, I got an idea.
We're not waiting till nightfall.
I'm gonna test something real quick here, don't mind me.
Once we beat Sin, we're coming back.
And everyone's just like, we'd say something, but, That's like the 7th time they've hinted at that. I mean...
Hey, we better hurry or we'll miss the Shoe Puff.
Shoe Puff? That's some kind of boat?
Oh, awesome, Shadow Machine. That's funny. I was going to poke you about it tonight during board game night. Be like, hey, dude. Where's my lines? Right, the Shoe Puff? Oh my god, low resolution textures?
This is a Shoe Puff.
Whoa! Let's ride! Come on, let's go!
All right, we board soon as we ready, huh?
Alright, there's an interesting question. Imagine you have to write some in-lore explanation for penance. What do you come up with?
Oh, Walker, at your service.
It's a Shoe Puff, Gum Gum. Do you not like the Shoe Puff? A bibble Shoe Puff. Sorry, I'm done.
Oh, what?
Am I past the point where I can lend him money? Have I failed that quest? That actually kind of pisses me off. Whatever. Nobody likes the Silt Striders. I'm gonna stop using that voice now. What are you boying? Just debating. I don't really need the gear that much. And I don't have any major bosses coming up.
I haven't ridden one in so long.
What? You've been on one of these?
Well, just once. 10 years ago, with Kamari. Remember?
Shoe Puff shook, Yuna fall in water. Shoe Puff scoop up Yuna with long nose. Yuna jump in 3 more times for fun.
Yeah.
Kimahri worried.
Whoops.
That's okay.
Yuna had fun. Kimahri happy. Biran is troublemaker, but Ronso do not lie. Summoners disappearing, that was not lie.
Right. I'll be careful.
Oh my god, Penance is Omega? Plutonia? I love people who can't lie unless they vomit, and that's what happens if they lie. I'm sorry, that's an esoteric reference. I shouldn't go with that. Let's make some money.
10 years ago.
Ah, a history lesson?
Jecht saw his first shoe puff here. Surprised, he drew his blade and struck it.
Why?
He was drunk. Thought it was a fiend.
Oh, brother.
We offered all the money we had as an apology. Jecht never drank again. But it would seem that shoe puff still works here.
Yeah, you can see the scar right there on its leg. I was actually just wondering, how the hell did he hit up there? That is not a low blow, but whatever. Anywho, hey, it's a guy with the gun. I'm only pointing this out because the guys in Bevelle, okay, whatever. But this is a guy just out here at the shoe puff station with a gun. Did I already look at this guy? I did. It's okay. It's approved Machina. I know. I'd say she's total scum. And she will die. Oh yes. I will look forward to it. Okay, this happens to me every single time I play this game. Every single time. Also, ignore the giant machine controlling the lever to get onto the shoe puff. You know, that's totally not a thing. How do I get on the shoe puff? Every single time I play this frickin' game, I can never figure out how to get on this stupid thing. Fine, I give up. I give up!
No, I don't think so. It's a bad idea, yes.
Please, we beg of you.
Impossible! Impossible!
What's wrong?
This guy won't let our chocobo on the shoe puff.
Ah, it is kind of big.
It's just not fair.
He does have a point, though.
So what? We just leave him behind?
Hey, I didn't say that. Just...
It is no good. We will have to find another way. We will find a ford where we can cross on foot.
Yes, Captain Sir.
Good night, lover.
That'll take days.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Oh, boy.
That's our captain.
Listen, boats are forbidden Machina. For some reason. I don't freaking know.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Those words stayed with me.
Forever.
I wonder how Captain Lucille is doing.
She's super dead.
Would you like to hear a bit about the wondrous shoe puff?
Yes.
Very well. There are many things we do not know about the shoe puff. For example, what does it eat? It eats nothing. The water it sucks through its schnoz somehow supports its considerable size. Some theorize it eats teeny-weeny
waterborne organisms. And that, as they say, is that.
Translation: magic. Fireflies. I don't know why you'd think that, Melkor. Just because it's totally who I would be in FF10's world.
Let the driver know when you're ready.
Riding a shoe puff isn't that much fun.
How little you know. Some things little boys never grow out of. Right?
Like getting 5,000 gil. Okay, I've got it. I've come up with my headcanon for Penance. He's actually an orbital station bot who has been placed here in order to observe the planet and keep it under control. And after the Sin incident, he was like, okay, I need to get involved in this, and came down and was like, all right, listen, Sin's getting out of the way, all right? Sin's getting out of hand, so I need to deal with this. So I need to kill y'all. So it came down to destroy the entire planet, but then we defeated it by throwing frickin' Yojimbo at it.
Perhaps you'd like to hear a bit about the High Pillow, hmm?
Yes.
The Shoepuff handlers belong to a race of water dwellers known as the High Pillow. They may be slow on land, but in the water they're quick as silvery fish. You'd think they'd make admirable players of blitzball. But their lackadaisical disposition draws them to less strenuous pastimes. And that, as they say, is that. I believe I've said all there is to say.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, Slots... Actually, I don't remember Slots is super broken or not. Oh, hang on.
Shoepuff's waiting.
Sorry, I didn't mean to skip through it. Let's try that again.
Rides the Shoepuff.
There you go.
All aboards.
Pay close attention. Hopefully you'll learn something.
Damn it, Zanza. Freaking up everything. Stupid, friggin' stupid.
Shoepuff launching.
I feel like Slots can kill everything except for a few things, but I don't remember. Like in FF6, you have to bug the Slots to insta-kill everything. But you can do that. Ah, thank you very much, Vigilant. A larger donation than you usually do. So much obliged, sir. Thank you.
Take a look.
Very, very much.
What? Whoa! A sunken city.
A Machina city, 1,000 years old. They built the city on top of bridges across a river.
But the weight of the city caused the bridges to collapse, and it all sank to the bottom.
For the record, I don't believe that story for a second.
Good lesson.
A lesson?
Yeah. Why build a city over a river, yeah?
Like, that city is
Well,
very
it would be convenient
well preserved.
with all that water there.
Nope, that's not why. They just wanted to prove they could defy the laws of nature.
I'm not so sure about that.
Yevon has taught us. When humans have power, they seek to use it. If you don't stop them, they go too far, yeah?
Yeah, but don't you use Machina too? Like the stadium and stuff, right?
Yevon, it decides which Machina we may use and which we may not.
So what kind of Machina may we not use, then?
Remember Operation Mi'ihen? That kind.
So no guns. Got it. What about the temple guard who was using a gun just now? Just wondering.
Or war will rage again.
War?
More than 1,000 years ago, mankind waged war using machina to kill.
They kept building more and more powerful machina.
They made weapons so powerful, it was thought they could destroy the entire world.
Vegnagun.
The people feared that Spira would be destroyed.
But the war did not stop.
What happened then?
Sin came, and it destroyed the cities and their machina.
The war ended, and our reward was sin.
So, sin's our punishment for letting things get out of hand, eh?
Man, that's rough.
Yeah, it is.
But it's not like the Machina are bad.
Only as bad as their users.
It's because of people like the Al Bhed screwing everything up.
Frickin' Al Bhed, it's all their fault. Especially those half Al Bhed. Those are the worst. Anyone who's half Al Bhed deserves to die in a fire. Ooh.
Sorry!
And kidnapped. We were just talking about you. What's up, scum of the earth? It's your fault we have sin, by the way, just, you know. I actually do too, Melkor. God, I don't know, Gum Gum. We may never know. Where's Riku? I'm sorry. That's such a dumb question. So, let's do this proper like. It's okay. To my knowledge, this is the second of 3 times Yuna is kidnapped. So she's only going to get kidnapped 3 times this game, which... Yeah, that means she gets kidnapped more than Rosa. That's pretty sad, actually. I wonder if Riku recognizes Tidus here, considering she's actively fighting us. Just food for thought. I mean, she recognizes him later, but yeah, it's possible in the moment, and considering she's riding the mech, she probably doesn't actually recognize him. That's why I'm just curious. Like, what do you think? This is 3... Yeah, not until 10-2, Savicom. I stand by it, Nemesis. And that's 5. Ultimate attack. She's just trying to kill Tidus, and honestly, can you blame her? I mean, given all that she's already been through. No, I remember Gum Gum. I just don't remember the lead up to the War of the Three Hammers. So, you know. Yes, the Summoner War is... Sin was a consequence of the Summoner War. Vegnagun was arguably also made during the Summoner War. Also, as a quick aside, as much as Vegnagun is dumb and stupid and worthless and terrible and awful and stupid, I really like the name, Vegnagun. That's just me. Hey, Yuna, could you, like, heal us? 5th one. One of these days I'm going to remember to actually change their overdrive modes. Riku. You should have just let me name the gummy ship. The raft, sorry. So this is probably going to count as a butt shot
Are
counter.
you hurt? No, I'm fine.
Those Al Bhed.
They're just the worst.
Everybody okay?
I'm sorry. We're all okay now.
Yuna.
Super full speed ahead.
Sorry, I'm just amused by Orin. Last time you did that, you got kidnapped. Sit down.
Damn the Al Bhed. What do they want from us?
Yuna.
Could it have something to do with Luca? What are they after Yuna for? Wait. They're mad they lost the tournament. Oh, wait. They're mad about Operation Mihen.
I wonder. Didn't Kimahri's clansmen say something about summoners disappearing?
And two other groups said that too.
So the Al Bhed are behind that. Those sand-blasted grease monkeys.
It's no use complaining about the Al Bhed now, right? We'll protect Yuna from anyone, anywhere. It's that easy. That's all I need to know.
Well, I guess so.
You're right.
Is drama happening? Sorry. Yeah, a few dozen Gum Gum, but not off the top of my head. I did a whole lore run if you want to talk about them. Alright, so this whole time Riku still hasn't surfaced.
Kimahri fail as guardian on Shupaf. Kimahri never fail again.
Not counting the last time she was kidnapped by Al Bhed, where Kimahri also failed.
Might be more Al Bhed. Keep watch, yeah?
Looks like we're stuck here for a while.
Hey look, it's a guy with the gun. Sorry.
Oh, Waka.
I'm not really going to do Blitzball. I've already really commented on it.
Guard Yuna.
Okay. I sensed she was here. I'm sorry. Oh, he doesn't repeat himself. Yuna embodies perfection, is what he just said. Maybe the Guado as a whole have a thing for her. I don't know. Anyways, let's go to the afterlife, guys. Anyone want to hang out at the afterlife with me? Please don't change out of your outfit, Riku. Don't do it. Just stay in that outfit.
Not dead?
Super butt shot. Totally qualifies. Twice! God, she looks so weird in the CGI. All their faces look weird in the CGI to me.
Riku! You're Riku!
Notably different. Notable because they look so different in the CGI from their in-game renders. And their artwork.
Hey! You're okay! How you been?
Terrible.
Yeah, you don't look so good. What happened?
You beat me up, remember?
Huh? Oh, that Machina? That was you?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you that. Auron looks okay. but Tidus, Yuna, and Riku all look just wrong in the faces to me.
Oh, that really hurt, you know. You big meanie.
Wait, but you attacked us.
Nuh-uh. It's not exactly what you think.
Yo! Friend of yours.
You could say that.
Pleased to meet ya. I'm Riku.
Yuna, Lulu, I told you about her, remember? She was the one who helped me before I was washed up on Besaid. She's an Al Bhed.
Really?
Wow, so you like all your life. What luck meeting here, huh? Praise be to Yevon.
Thankfully, Wakka is either willfully blind or a moron.
You look a little beat up. You okay?
Wakka.
Huh? What?
There's something we need to discuss.
Oh, go ahead.
Girls only. Boys, please wait over there.
Right. Sorry, Wakka.
Huh? What?
I don't mean literally see. I mean, Tidus just flat out said she's an Al Bhed. What else did he think he meant there exactly? So then Riku joins.
Sir Auron, I would like Riku to be my guardian.
Show me your face.
Huh?
Look at me.
Oh, okay.
You really have to look closely to see the Al Bhed eye thing. It's a cool figure, though. The little spiral thing.
As I thought.
No good?
Are you certain?
100%. So, anyway, can I?
If Yuna wishes it.
Interesting, by the way, that Auron recognizes the sign of an Al Bhed.
Yes, I do.
Riku's a good girl. She helped me a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm for it. The more the merrier.
Righto. Then I'll just have to be the merriest.
It was strange. Even though Wakka had always hated the Al Bhed,
Riku, at your service.
he never realized Riku was one of them.
Yeah, I'm well aware. Gum. Sorry. I was actually watching that BlizzCon when he did that. Some people made fun of him for it. Those people are stupid. Takes more balls than you'd think to stand up and say, hey, by the way, you're wrong, to a developer.
Wonder what's inside.
So, I believe this is the third to last tutorial? Like, mandatory tutorial. Like this, where you have to do this.
Yahoo! You should know, I'm scary when I get mad. I'm gonna use that item I just got on you. You'll be sorry.
I like this outfit a lot better than her 10-2 outfit. Her default 10-2 outfit. So Overdrive, mixing, also known as the easiest and simplest way to break this game in half. If you have a walkthrough. Wouldn't you be, Gum Gum?
What did you just do?
That was great!
I can combine items and use them like this. It's not that tough, really.
I can also dance. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yep, so we finally have Riku. We finally have the full party. We're done. Now I have to rotate people even more than I was already doing. Her starting stats are kind of crap, too. But, you know. Okay. This. And then this. And then this. And then this.
You gotten any better?
Just watch.
Oh, ouch. I like some of her outfits in 10-2, but I'm talking about her default one, which I am not a fan of. See you around, Nemesis. No.
I foresee no difficulty. Farewell.
He was right.
That's how it's done.
Everyone, look sharp.
Half her health in one shot. Auron, really? We need to have a chat.
My turn. Yeah.
I'm here.
I mean, don't mistake me, I think 10's overall fashion is awful, but as I've said many times, a lot of my distaste for the fashion leans specifically on the NPC side of things. Most of the main characters are just okay. The NPCs, I just look at like, what are you wearing? Like Donna, as I've made fun of several times. Or random NPC number 37. Like the woman who has... Like, I'll point it out the next time one shows up, because it's one of the recurring NPCs. You'll see what I mean. You will see, oh yes. You will understand horribleness.
We have been expecting you, Lady Yuna. Welcome to Guado Salam. This way, my lady. This way.
Me?
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Oh, I beg your pardon. I am called Trommel Guado. I am in the direct service of our leader, the great Seymour Guado. Lord Seymour has very important business with Lady Yuna.
Business with me? Whatever could it be, I wonder?
Please, come inside the manor. All will be explained.
He wants to marry you because he's a creep.
Twist our arms, why don't you? Ah, I almost forgot.
This is how you can customize equipment. Freaking finally! This right here is, in my opinion, one of the better features of the entire game. It actually irritates me how late into the game it is finally unlocked. Like, I love Materia in 7, right? Imagine if you didn't get Materia at all until, you know, let's see. Like, say, Junon, right? Once this tutorial is done, I'll finish talking about it, because the tutorial's like, here's the dumb stuff. Okay, so... Customize equipment. I mentioned how all of the equipment in this game is basically slots. You can add stuff. Stuff takes items. Most of these items are relatively simple or common to obtain. A lot of them are not. Some of them only come from stealing certain enemies, or from using certain spheres, or using certain abilities on certain enemies, or whatever, right? There's a lot of ways to get these things. The one I remember most is, unless you do one other thing, which I don't remember what you have to do, You can't get the Enknun until Zanarkand, because the monks in Zanarkand drop the Enknun thing. But yeah, you can do all sorts of awesome stuff, and there's a lot of possible combinations, and of course, you can go ahead... Bribing, thank you. I knew there was another big one. That's why I was just sitting there trying to think of it. You can put a lot of stuff on equipment, and it's awesome how much stuff you can put on equipment. Like Auto Phoenix Down, or Auto Med, or Auto Haste is one we'll get later. Do I have any weapons I can customize right now? There we go. Sensor, Power Distiller, or Mana Distiller just built into it. Strength up, magic up. All this gets more and more fleshed out as time goes on, but this is a very awesome system. You get Magicite and FF6 at about the 3 or 4 hour mark, Dude McGuy, depending on how you're playing. It's not actually that far in, relatively speaking. Of course, FF6 isn't that long of a game, so I guess percentage-wise is a decent chunk. Yeah, so, I'm just gonna give a gameplay positive for that, and if you got a problem with that, you can die in a fire, toxic lore. Sorry. Whoa. Oh, okay. I'm okay. Just channeling the video game awards there for a second. I do think that deserves a gameplay positive, though. Among other things, it is an excellent customization feature that isn't super unlimited, but also allows you a great deal of tactics and setup when how you set things up. The only downside is the fact that it, to get the really good stuff, is pretty damn grindy. But yeah, I would say this is the best or second best feature of FF10, personally. Up there with the overdrive system, which I need to finally do something with. Where's our gameplay? Here we go. And yeah, the combat in general is very fun. So so far we've given overdrive system, built-in customization options, gameplay and UI design of combat, Blitzball management system, and the equipment customization system. But yeah, I like the upgrade system, I like the customization of it, I like the fact that you can make multiple suits that are good for different things, you know, get the triple AP weapons, and then you've got the multi-slot weapons, which are designed for taking out certain bosses, and sometimes you have a specific weapon just for certain encounters, and blah, 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 blah. A lot of good stuff with it, I like it, I love it. Where's my overdrive? There we go. So, I haven't actually talked about this yet. You can set overdrive modes. The way you learn overdrive modes is by doing stuff relative to the mode. So, this is one of the other reasons why the overdrive system is so awesome, because you can increase your overdrive when you do damage or when you take damage. We're going to set it to warrior, by the way, because that's just really good for... now, you can also set it when allies take damage, which is pretty nice, which also generally means you're going to be getting a decent chunk depending on what you're fighting. Looks like that's all I've got at the moment. Oh, Orin, we'll switch him to warrior, too. There we go. Okay. Guadosalam, the greatest dungeon in the world.
Oh, how fare you, Sir Guardian?
Hey, Shalinda.
It seems that Maester Seymour has returned to Guadosalam. He's young, but he deserves our respect.
He's also so dreamy.
Care to hear about the Far Plane or the Fireflies?
Yeah, a lot of the modes which you unlock later are far more useful.
Ahem. The Far Plane's the place where Fireflies, born from ascending, gather. They appear in the shape of people who've died and gone to the Far Plane. Quite the phenomenon. How I wish I understood it more fully.
Well...
The Owlbed have a theory, you know. They say the Fireflies are just reacting to visitors' thoughts and dreams. But only the dead appear on the Far Plane. No image of the living has ever been seen. It's a great mystery, but maybe the dead leave a bit of themselves in the hearts of the living. And that little bit borrows the Firefly's power for their paranormal performance. Or maybe not, who knows? And that, as they say, is that.
Good night, humanization.
Care to hear about the
So yeah, here's the thing. Only the dead show up on the far plane, but any dead show up on the far plane. Even dream dead. Which is interesting. Now, the catch here is the far plane as presented is basically the life stream, which is an extremely common concept in the Final Fantasy series as a whole. Final Fantasy IX had a life stream. Final Fantasy 13 had a live stream. And I feel like I'm missing some. But anyways, point being, it's a live stream. Okay, cool. But at the same time, there's a lot of demonstrable evidence that when you die, you're gone. You're right? Guys, I just called it a live stream. Of course FF7's there. Anyways, there's a lot of evidence in the games that, in this one and the next one, that when you die and go to be and distribute into the live stream, or excuse me, into the far plane, nothing of you is there. Like, you as a concept, you as an entity cease to exist. In a similar way to if you were to, how do I phrase this? Imagine if you could accelerate the rot of a human body by a factor of thousands, or millions even, so that as soon as a person died, the person just kind of goes whoosh and decomposes within seconds, right? I know that's gross, but that is kind of the relative equivalent of what's happening here. Remember, all these people are actually made of pyreflies. I talked about that earlier. It's just the composition is a little bit different. FF14, there's another example of what I was talking about. So when you disseminate into your compost, you as an individual entity are basically gone, right? That's kind of what, at least as a physical entity. Let's not get into soul or afterlife or whatever. You as a physical entity are gone. It's the same general concept here. The body and the soul just kind of go, and it just disseminates into pyreflies. Now, because of the life cycle thing they got going on, there's kind of a static amount of life that can exist at any given point in time, because they can't have more life than they have pyreflies. The general idea being that you can't have more pyreflies can't be generated. You have a static amount, okay? Now, all that being said, let's get into theorizing. So, why the hell do only dead people show up here in the far plane when, theoretically speaking, if the pyreflies are reacting the way they should, you should be able to see anyone or anything. It's also probably worth noting that when you go there, the dead don't say or do anything. You just see a reflection of them, which is even creepier and weirder if you actually think about it. One of the things we know is that pyreflies carry, this is a demonstrable fact, one of the things we know is pyreflies carry with them memories and echoes of events around them or of people around them. Remember, Shuyin in FF10-2 isn't Shuyin. Spoilers. The final boss of FF10-2 is not Shuyin. Shuyin died a millennia ago. The thing we're fighting is a bunch of pyreflies reflecting his memory. Now, you could argue the whys and the wherefores of exactly how much of a variance that has. But the idea here, in my theory, to finally wrap this up here, is that what we're seeing is basically a resonance with the person looking at it, hitting the right frequency of the memories of the people who have died and thus joined the far plane. So that's why you only see someone who's dead, because only the people who are dead are actually resonating. Their pattern is in the far plane. And that's why you only see an image and nothing actually substantial, because it's just a reflection, hitting off of your own memories of it, right? Does that make any sense? I'm probably explaining this really badly.
They may be called pyreflies, but they aren't really flies, you see. They're those lights you see whenever a fiend dies. The little fellows are responsible for a few fantastic phenomena. Visions of the past, spheres, fiends, these are all the pyreflies doing.
Also sin.
In fact, Fireflies have something to do with aeons, too.
Uh-huh.
The dreams of the faith reach through the spirit of the summoner. And that which is unreal becomes real for all to see. Or maybe not, who knows? And that, as they say, is that.
Those heathen are despicable. Maybe later. I should start saying that every now and again. Or maybe not. Who knows? I mean, I wouldn't know anything. Let's go to the lightning. Aw. Damn it. I wanted to go dodge lightning for 7 years and kill myself. I'm sorry. I shouldn't jump straight to the nuclear option, but God, I hate lightning dodging so much and I will never do it again. Ever. Unless I'm paid a lot of money to do it. And I mean a lot. Like 23 million range. Random NPC with the same model as other NPC says, you probably think that, you know, we all look the same. Oh, forgot to talk to him. I'd never play or hire you away, sir. Never. Part of the problem with Blitzball, by the way, to go back to that, is that once you get to a certain point, you just wreck face across the board. They never really get any better, the enemy teams. Not at the same rate and style you do. And so it becomes stomp, 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 stomp every single fight. Okay, wrong door. Lady Seymour instructs the youth on subjects. He teaches us that life is meaningless and we should do everything he says. Oh my god! It's Urianger. Aw, of course he doesn't repeat himself. Well, I can't repeat his dialogue. A lot of non-repeating dialogue. Prithee forgive us our antiquated prattling. It's unseemly babbling to guest in the old tongue. The Guado are very murderous elves, yes. Right. Let's go present ourselves to Lord Seymour. Hey, Seymour. I'm ready. Take me. High Adventures. No, the starter team has a couple people who are good if they level up, but you can get so much better people relatively early on. In fact, I've already passed 2 people that I could get who are better as of this point in the game.
Stay close to Yuna.
God, I hardly recognize this place without the Syndicate imagery all over it.
I wonder what smells so nice.
Why does he want to see me?
Because he wants to marry you, because he's a creep.
Kimari not like Mr. Seymour.
Me neither. Lore Runner hate Maester Seymour. Lore Runner kill Maester Seymour.
I don't like the smell of this one, eh?
I mean, would is this even really the same place if we don't hear LeBlanc going, "Oh yes, just like that"?
These are the past leaders of the Guado.
They all look the same.
Maester Seymour doesn't look like them, no.
Don't you know? The last leader, Maester Jyscal, wed a human woman. She was Seymour's mother.
He was a horrible person, by the way, by all accounts. He was basically pure politics, and thus kind of a dick. He was also totally cool with the whole, "Oh yes, go kill yourself, wife, for the sake of our son's political power." You know, that kind of a person.
Oh.
This way, please. This way, please.
Every time I hear him, I just hear Captain Hook in Kingdom Hearts. Shmee! I can't do the voice.
I will go inform Lord Seymour. Please wait here.
There's no temple here in Guadasalam, see? Summoners usually just pass through on their way elsewhere. What?
I didn't even ask a question and you're explaining things.
You'd rather I say nothing, then?
No. Maybe you finally believe I don't know anything about Spira. And maybe that means you believe me about Zanarkand, too?
Well, there are many things I do not know. Your Zanarkand is one of those things. I suppose I can't say what I think either way. Still, be careful. You shouldn't tell other people.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, some NPCs can be relatable. Yeah, me too, Classic Brandon. Also, welcome back.
I get the feeling he called us up here for more than just dinner.
Savicom asks a good question. Why does he not actually... Why does he ask Yuna to marry him in private? I mean, he's scheming, but his schemes don't necessarily involve this unless he wanted to murder us off to the side. Which he doesn't do. We're not in danger until we, you know, kill him.
Stay on your guard.
Why? This guy's just a priest, right?
Those with power use that power.
Damn right.
Maesters have power.
Oh, sorry. You mean that as a bad thing?
You sure you don't have something against Yevon?
He's shy.
A long time in Zanarkand.
Ah.
That answers everything. Meanwhile, Rika's just like...
Kimahri, speak no more.
Ever again.
What could it be? Oh.
Actually, you know what? That's probably the closest thing to a legitimate answer right there. He wanted her away from Auron. Not the rest of the group, just Auron.
This is good.
Truly, it is good to have guests again. Since Lord Jyscal passed away, these halls have been too quiet.
The death of Lord Jyscal was a great loss for all of Spira.
Was this Maester Jyscal really such a great guy?
He brought the teachings of Yevon to the Guado. He was truly a great man.
Okay, I already kind of talked about this, but that right there tells you the kind of person Jyscal really was. He made the political alliance between the Guado and the Church formal. Yeah.
Truly a loss for us all. But now, a new leader, Lord Seymour, has come before us.
Because his father put him off in a frickin' ruin with his mother!
Lord Seymour is the child of a Guado and a human. He will be the tie that binds our two races together.
And
that is not all, I think.
Yes, we need to interbreed even more! More hybrids! More power!
Lord Seymour, he will surely become the shining star that lights the way for all the peoples of Spira.
I sometimes wonder how much Trommel knows what Seymour was planning. Because Trommel is blindly loyal. Truly blindly loyal. So it's possible he knew from the beginning. Because when he finds out, he doesn't give a crap.
That is enough, Trommel. Must I always endure such praise? Welcome.
You wanted to see me?
Kek is just random patterns being translated in random ways, Gum Gum. It just happens that a lot of three-letter words tend to be translated as Kek, that's all.
Please, make yourselves at home. There's no rush.
Please keep this short. Yuna must rush.
Pardon me.
Thank you, Orin.
It has been a long time since I had guests. Lady Yuna, this way.
By the way, quick aside, in the original version, I couldn't tell she had heterochromia because of the quality of the PS2 and the small TV. So this is neat and totally unnecessary. But there's the Galactic Lifestream, and the only time we actually see it in this game at all. Excuse me, Galactic Farplane. My bad.
This sphere is a reconstruction created from the thoughts of the dead that wander the far.
Zanarkand?
Correct. Zanarkand, as it looked 1,000 years ago.
I do like Tidus's reactions here. Everyone else is awestruck and wondered, and he's just like...
The great and wondrous Machina city, Zanarkand. She once lived in this metropolis.
She who?
The woman I'm inexplicably obsessed with, of course. And who is technically still alive for certain definitions of the word. It is a good FMV, though. It's one of the best ones in the game, in my opinion. Probably the second best. Maybe third.
Lady Yunalesca!
She was the first person to defeat Sin.
I'm sorry. I've complained about a lot of clothing in this game. Look at Yunalesca's clothing.
And save the world from its ravages. And you have inherited her name.
It was my father who named me.
Lord Braska was entrusting you with a great task. He wanted you to face Sin as Lady Yunalesca.
Look at her hair, too.
However, Lady Yunalesca did not save the world alone. To defeat the undefeatable Sin, it took an unbreakable bond of love, of the kind that binds two hearts for eternity.
I mentioned the Ultimania says that Seymour really did love Yuna. That's actually relevant because it's the only way his plan would have ever actually worked. Because, yeah, I like that too, dude, McGuy. Because the bond that he mentioned does actually require love. That's not facetiousness. That's not hyperbole. You have to truly love someone in order to form the final Aeon bond. That's why they have this whole ritual set up so that you grow to rely on and trust the person who's carrying you to the final thing. So then, yes, you, my guardian, who I trust and love very clearly, blah, 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 there you go, right? So, Seymour, of course, has no such bond with Yuna and vice versa. But Seymour wants her to marry him so that... Yeah, you get it. It does really show how he just has no understanding of how any of this works. God, that outfit looks so stupid. I will say this, however. He looks better here than when we kill him later. When he's an optional boss. And his outfit is better than hers. Oh, God. I agree, Classic Brandon. I don't think he understands love in the traditional sense of the word, to be completely blunt. I don't think it's something that processes for him. Marry me. Marry me. Actually, can't we kill him in both? Like, isn't he Nemesis in 1? And he's in the Via Purifico in 2, isn't he? I mean, according to the Ultimania, you're right, Blue Wolf Alex. I rolled to disbelieve, you know? I like her reaction to this. This is good. And everyone's just watching her, and she's just like, yeah, but... And off she goes.
Wow, your face is beet red.
You okay?
I'm not sure, Maria Graywell, but probably.
He asked me to marry him.
You serious? Hey!
You know what Yuna must do.
Of course. Lady Yuna. No, all summoners are charged with bringing peace to Spira.
Even me.
But this means more than just defeating sin. She must ease the suffering of all Spira. She must be a leader for the people. I proposed to Lady Yuna as a maester of Yevon.
Spira is no playhouse. A moment's diversion may amuse an audience, but it changes nothing.
And that is Auron's perspective on the thing, by the way. Something he very firmly reaffirms later on in the game. I'm kind of with Auron on that one, by the way. Don't mistake me. You have to take care of the now and the then. But if you take care of the now at the expense of the then,
Even so, the actors must play their parts. There's no need to answer right away. Please, think it over.
Allow me to expose my manly chest some more.
We leave.
Lady Yuna, I await your favorable reply.
And of course he slants it that way. I await your favorable reply. Which you will reply with, of course.
Why are you still here, sir? I beg your pardon. We Guado are keen to the scent of the Farplane.
I like how Seymour pretty much just gives that away right there. And nobody thinks to bring it up, like, at all for a while. Because, you know, miscommunication, I don't know.
Yuna, the High Summoner's daughter. Seymour, the leader of the Guado.
Politically, it's a good match.
Married in the name of Yevon, overcoming the barriers of race. It would give Spira something cheery to talk about for a change.
Sounds just like a passing daydream, like Auron says.
Come on, let's just get on with the pilgrimage. I mean, marriage?
Jealous?
What? No way. We gotta defeat sin. Romance can wait.
You sure picked a fine time to lay this one on us.
Maybe it is a fine time.
You serious?
If my getting married would help Spira, if it would make people happy.
Hey, Yuna. I have a 1-ton cinder block. Now, I guarantee that if you carry this cinder block on your back while going up a staircase, a steep staircase, you will make the citizens of Spira happy. Okay. Then I will do... Oh, also, you have to be barefoot. Okay. For the citizens... One more thing. I'm going to pour lava, like, down the staircase, so you have to kind of dodge that as it's coming. Okay.
If I could do that for people, maybe I should do what I can. I never imagined doing anything like this. But I won't answer till I know what's right.
Seriously?
You could always just quit your pilgrimage and get married.
Hint, hint, please do that, Yuna.
I will.
See you around, Classic Brandon.
I'm sure that Lord Seymour will understand.
I guess so.
I am a summoner. I must fight and defeat sin.
Like Braska before you.
I had to stop myself from shouting. What's there to think about?
I'm going to the far plane.
Oh, okay. Hang on, where's my sword? I'll help you out here.
I'm going to see my father and think on this.
Oh, you...
We'll be right behind you.
I wondered why none of the others ever asked Yuna. Do you love Seymour? Do you even like him?
I actually have a weird thought that love and like play a lot less of a role in romance in Spira than they do in Dreams Anakin, or in most cultures in general. I don't mean that as an insult, by the way. I really don't. Again, you know, if death comes around every couple decades, think about it. Yeah, breed or die out, yeah. And yeah, there probably are a lot of teenage marriages in this setting.
Question about this far plane. When somebody dies, a summoner sends them to the far plane, right? So their souls, or whatever they are, they go to the far plane, right? But that's the far plane we're going to, right? And Yuna's old man's there too? Do dead people live there or something?
Hey, ghosts. Like actual ghost models.
You thinking those funny thoughts again, yeah? You'll see once we get there.
We'd explain, but screw you, new guy who's never even heard of the far plane. And yes, someone mentioned earlier in chat, it is worth noting we don't even have the concept of an unsent yet. Both in and out of character. Well, several of the characters obviously know, but my point being Tidus doesn't know, and the players don't know. It hasn't been introduced yet. I would argue strongly that a lot of people don't even know what an unsent is in setting.
Aren't you coming?
I do not belong there.
You're scared.
Searching the past to find the future. This is all that is there. I need it not. You'd better be going.
You're not really going to see the dead. More like your memories of them. People think of their relatives, and the Fireflies react to them. They take on the form of the dead person. An illusion, nothing else. Well, have fun.
What? You're not going either, Riku?
I keep my memories inside.
Huh?
Memories are nice, but that's all they are.
That's a good quote. I like that quote.
You're still here?
See you later.
I would, if this was available in real life, I would find it as a curiosity, nothing more. I wouldn't actually be interested in it. Maybe I'd study how to harness its power to conquer the world. But other than that, it would just be a curiosity. I agree, Myron. You can kind of hear the struggle in his voice, too. So there's Chapu, who looks exactly like us.
What the?
Because weird. Whatever. I always liked the flower field and the waterfalls, though. I'll give them that. This isn't even as weird as this game gets. This game gets so much weirder than this. Like, what's the hole? What's with the cliff? I don't know. I got nothing.
The farplane was cool, but I couldn't stop thinking about Yuna. Her parents, they looked so happy together. But it got me worried that maybe seeing them would make Yuna really consider Seymour's proposal.
The inside of Sin, Mr. Red. So, oh, I can't see it here, can I? I actually was going to share a small theory with this place, and it is 100% headcanon. I just want to make that very clear, but I always liked the idea that this place was constructed by whoever came here first, basically. That I guess this is kind of borrowing from WoW now that I think about it, but that the far plane that we see here is basically the proto-world, which they then used the Fireflies to build the actual planet around it. And then because, for those of you not aware, the far plane and, you know, the world are physically connected. It's not like some ephemeral afterlife or some other dimension or some other plane of existence you go to. You dig down like a mile, and you'll get to the far plane, right? So, that would help explain several aspects of this place. Now, that whole thing at the end there, I do think that's basically either the source or the connector, one of the two. As in, like, that's the most concentrated cluster of Fireflies. Or that is the loop connecting this to the galactic livestream, one of the two. So in other words, I mentioned earlier the finite amount of Fireflies. That might not be true if Fireflies leave to go join the galactic livestream and come from the galactic livestream here. Technically, it would still be true because there's still a finite amount in the whole galaxy, but you get what I'm talking about here.
Why don't you try calling someone? All you have to do is think about them.
Isn't that so apropos, though, Savacom? Oh my god, I'm in the afterworld and girl!
Yo, Chapu! Meant to come see you earlier, yeah? Sorry. I know you won't hold it against me. I gave up that game. I'm a guardian from here on, you know?
We see it from space later, Permeus. It does seem to be a planet, yes.
This guy looks a lot like you.
Different hair, build, face, style of dress.
Showed up. Traveling with him, I thought maybe you were still alive somewhere, yeah? But then again, here you are on the far plane. Guess your place is here.
Okay, so real talk for a second, because this is actually kind of touching and neat and awesome. How many of you are aware of the Mirror of Erised? There's nothing wrong with, and indeed something kind of touching, where you have a picture, and you talk to the picture, right? Or you go to a grave. How many times have you seen someone go to a grave and talk to the grave? That's actually really common in fiction, too. But I know people who do that in real life. And I don't mean like they expect that they're actually talking to a ghost or whatever. They just go to the grave to talk because it helps them to talk, right? Maybe they think there's someone there, maybe they don't. That doesn't matter. Not really. Because what really matters in the moment is what they are saying and how they are able to open themselves up when they feel like they are talking to someone who is no longer there. That's cool. The thing that's dangerous about the far plane, and the reason I'm kind of with Riku here, is because the far plane is sufficiently relatively tangible and real that one can be tricked into thinking that what you're seeing is not a gravestone. You know what I mean? That because of the nature of this, you're looking at this and thinking, maybe that's the real... This is why I brought up the Mirror of Erised. Dumbledore himself flat out said, some people waste their lives away in front of the mirror, wondering if the visions they see are true or false. But the mirror doesn't tell you truth. The mirror tells you what you want. That's what it does. That's the whole point of the mirror. And that's the danger of something like this.
So, how you been? Oh, that guy I just told you about? I gave him your sword. He likes it.
Huh? Whoa.
Yeah, imagine if your daydreams had the power to basically curse you. That's the Mirror of Erised. Fascinating idea, by the way. And pretty horrifying.
So, Yuna?
I've decided.
Oh, really? That's good.
I remember when I was only 7 years old in Bevelle that day. My father had defeated Sin, and the whole town was out in the streets. Everyone was laughing. They all seemed so happy.
Thank goodness, Braska's dead.
That would make everyone happy, wouldn't it?
Well, I've already answered that question, Mr. Red. The answer is no. There, in this setting, in Final Fantasy X setting, there is a life stream, which isn't really an afterlife in any traditional sense of the word. What you are is broken down to make something new. It's a cycle kind of a thing.
I must do what everyone wants, not just what I want.
Let's go back. You gotta tell Seymour.
Before that, call Sir Jet. Give it a try.
Huh?
Don't worry. He won't come.
Trying not to think about my old man made me think about him, of course.
See, told you.
He isn't here because he's not dead. He's Sin.
That means he's alive, you know.
What if my old man really is Sin? What would I say to Yuna? Heck, to everybody in Spira. Wait, why should I have to apologize for him anyway? I'd rather never see him again.
What makes you hate him so?
Everything he does just makes me mad. It was his fault that me and my mother... Mom? It's her.
She's very pretty.
But... wait. No one ever performed the sending for her.
Hey, Chatterbox.
She must have accepted death while she was still alive.
Whoa there. That's my mother you're talking about.
Yeah, she basically suicided and accepted it. Not in grief. It was just, I accept death because my reason for living is gone. Which wasn't her son. It was Jacked. She was... I've said this before and I'll say this again. She was not a good mother.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I think I just... figured something out.
What?
Why I hate my old man.
Because he was awesome. Or, I mean... No, I kid.
See, so I told him what I thought of him right there.
No, Chatterbox.
What? Really?
Course.
I suppose, but... Mommy! Just a sec, dear.
Whenever my old man was around, my mother wouldn't even look at me.
Maybe that's when I started to resent him, even hate him. When he left us, Mom just lost her energy.
Is she all right?
Why should you care?
If she dies, I wouldn't know what to do.
Don't say Mom is gonna die.
I apologize.
The old lady next door told me, when a lovebird dies, the one left behind, it just gives up living so it can join its mate. It was just like that. I hated my old man even more. But really, my old man...
Mommy! Just a sec, dear.
Go to him. He'll cry if you don't.
Like it or not, Jecht demonstrably loved his son. He was a terrible father, but he did love Tidus. Tidus's mother, by contrast... I'm trying to think how to phrase this. I don't want to say this as harshly as it sounds, but basically, there is no evidence that Tidus's mother loved him. Yeah.
Oh, man. I must sound so stupid.
I don't think so.
How embarrassing.
Well, need some more time.
No. I'm ready.
Did I miss something?
She stole some of the fruit.
I'll go give my answer to Maester Seymour.
Dun, Dun, dun.
Lord Jiskel!
Remember, he was murdered like a couple weeks ago.
Why?
Yuna, send him.
So this is the biggest and most obvious hint that something's up with Orin. He has to resist ascending.
Lord Jiskel.
Although they show the events out of order.
No more. Send him now.
I still think that, Sobacom. A matter of complexity and, well, frankly, droid effect.
Talk later. We leave now.
What was that just now? That really Lord Jiskel?
He wasn't sent.
What? What? Huh? So, that's up to you guys, Gum Gum, not me. I never decide. So, yeah, that's a weird bug, but whatever. That was an unsent. We know what an unsent is. That's a bug. Moving on. Real quick. I've always had the theory, and I stand by this even to this day, having reanalyzed this game many times, that this is an 8BitDo SN30 Pro. That, yes, Colin Peluso, all of them, $23 million, and I'll do it tomorrow. Basically, that picture a holodeck, okay? Now, a holodeck is very advanced, but ultimately it is very limited in what it can do and how it can do it. Now, picture if you just left the holodeck running, but no one ever entered the holodeck. It's just running over there in a corner. So, what I'm trying to say is the depth and complexity and substance of interactions between those holodeck characters it's going to hit a ceiling, right? And it's never going to go beyond that ceiling. What you're going to have is a more or less literal echo room chamber problem, because it can't really develop or grow or otherwise move forward. Imagine if you took someone out of that, or another person out of that, and they were able to interact with other people. They would have far more capacity and potential for growth, emotional and otherwise. Then you add on to that the factor that, say that holodeck is spending far more time, attention, and work on specifically making sure that certain specific holodeck characters, like Moriarty, for example, are developed to the point where they can think better. And you basically have the idea of what I think of Jack Titus. Moving on.
I will go meet with Maester Seymour.
Yuna, Jiskel is the Guado's problem, not yours.
What?
So, Lulu, what do you think about Yuna getting married?
As long as the pilgrimage continues, either way's fine.
That's it? What if she doesn't even like the guy? Is that okay?
People marry for many reasons.
What's that mean?
Sometimes marriage doesn't require love, you know?
Sometimes. Sorry.
And bring joy to the people of Spira. Get married and bring joy to the people of Spira. For Yuna, they're just two ways down the same road. All you need is determination.
Small irritation. I really hate where it's rendering the text, because I tend to read the subtitles.
If you have that, you don't need love.
I don't know. I just don't get it.
You know, Yunu's an object, and so she must remain.
For a while there, I was a little worried about what was gonna happen, yeah?
We leave as soon as Yuna returns. I trust you'll be ready.
Listen, if Yuna gets married, then
What? That again?
Yes. If she is to marry, I would want her to marry for love.
See?
But if Yuna said she wanted to marry the one she loves, I would have to object.
Huh? You're not making much sense.
I know.
Where's frickin' Riku? Riku! Riku! Oh, there you are.
When we leave here, we have to go through the Thunder Plains next, you know?
See you around, J. Maria Greywall. Teach me how to blitz.
For a while there?
Nah. Yeah, you are super not worthy of her, kid. Sorry, dude. It's okay. It won't be on the table anyways, because screw you.
I've talked enough about that.
What?
I'm sorry. Just forget about it.
Jeez, Grumpy.
You'll understand one of these days.
When you're the ripe old age that I am of 22.
I just don't want to give it words. Not yet. I shouldn't have to say this, but don't fall in love with her.
You're more my type, Lulu. Wink! God, I'm sorry. That's just... okay.
That's fine, then.
Entirely possible, Mr. Red. A lot of this is theory, so I don't know.
My, was the Lady Summoner not with you?
No, she's at Seymour's place.
That's Maester Seymour, or Lord Seymour.
Oh, I'll be careful. Sorry.
That's all right. Oh, Maester Seymour left Guadosalam a short while ago.
You serious?
I believe he went to the temple in Macalania. Maester Seymour is also the high priest of that temple.
Whoa, I gotta tell the others.
I like Shalinda. She's cool. Explain, 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 explain. Does she really, Myron? That's funny.
Lord Jiskel, please tell me. What can I do to help?
Hey, who girl?
Yuna, let's go!
I don't believe they ever explain it, Mr. Red. They say that he was out training. So it's entirely possible that he just kept swimming one day. Just to challenge himself, or because he was drunk, or because screw it. Remember, Dream Xanarkand isn't that far off the coast. We've established that a few times.
They say Seymour went to Macarena Temple.
Macalania Temple.
Aye?
What I don't get is, why would the Lord Maester head off without a peep to anyone?
Maybe he wasn't expecting Yuna's answer so soon.
Ah, that's probably it.
Yuna, what is it?
Oh, nothing.
You're a poor liar.
It's true, it's nothing.
You are a terrible liar.
Let's go.
That is a good question, Cullen Peluso. Alright, so ready for the best part of the game. Actually, all joking aside, there's some good scenes here. Poor Riku.
No. We're here.
Also some of the better Riku scenes. Hey look, Machina.
See the lightning rod towers? The lightning is drawn to them, hopefully.
We head north, not too near and not too far from the towers, yeah?
Meaning we should avoid wide open areas.
Ah! I think I forgot something in Guadosalam.
Nice knowing you.
Okay, I'll go.
Oh, the way she crawls is amazing. So this is Mihin High Road Part 2. The second section where you're supposed to level for a while. so I love how they force you back here. The long and the short of this is, in order to dodge lightning, you basically have a frame window there. And so if you hit it too often, there's like an offset where basically it will trigger as no. However, if you hit it anywhere within the window, it'll work. There's actually a mod for the PC version that increases that window, by the way. Heads up on that for anybody who wants to do this. 1. Count with me. Of course, I have encounters on right now. I had to say something. This is also pretty much the first time I really start leveling in this game, right here. Because... oh, well, never mind. Because they're immune! Hang on. I still don't have my raw spells. Really? Wow. Oh yeah, they almost always do a lightning right after combat. Aggravating.
As you wish.
Did I do Riku? There we go. That attack right there just dragged me through the lightning planes almost every time I do this. Without cheats. When I do it with cheats, I have no encounters. How did I do Riku? I don't think I did, so there we go. I swear the flying enemies are more vulnerable to petrify than most enemies are. Yep, so that was what, 1? Hang on. Ah! Okay, hang on. 0. 0! Oh my god. I'm going to chop off pretty much right here, by the way. In fact, I'm going to do it right now. Chopping off local recording.